Greetings, everybody! My name is KG Prestige, and welcome everyone back again for another exciting edition of the PokePod World Podcast, where me and my pals gather around to go and chat about things relating most of the time anyway. I'm pretty confident we don't really 90% of the time, but when we do, though, we talk about Pokemon. It's always been that way, it'll always be that way, and I can't wait to see more shenanigans happen with us in the distant future. Of course, we have an exciting one for you guys tonight. We are going to be concluding things off for the Japanese opening ranks, and it's going to be an interesting one because I would say that this is where things get a little interesting, not just for us in the call, but also for the community as well, because this is around the time, I would call it the post-reboot era, where the community would have begun to shine and rise a lot higher than usual because Best Wishes, XY, Z, Sun, Moon, and then of course with the recent PM 2019, otherwise known as Pokemon Journey the series, however you want to go with it. So we're going to be having a fun one, and I'm curious to see how people are going to react to certain placements of the songs. Will some actually be in S tier? Will some move down from S to A? Will some be in F tier? There's not even an F tier, but let's just say if there is, would it possibly land there? I'm not sure, but we shall find out soon enough sometime later, because I'm pretty confident we're probably going to just chit chat away at the very beginning part, and then we will figure things out from there. So right now I'm going to be hopping into the call with my pals. We're going to see how things go, and hopefully it will be a fun one for tonight. So ladies and gents, let's get right into the show for the night. Boop.
Aw, damn it.
Aw.
I mean, hi, Kevin.
Aw, I'm sorry to
Oh,
ruin your
Mary.
moment of
Damn.
chatting. That's unfortunate. How you doing, though? Also, Jesus Christ, I had my volume all the way at max for my thing. I'm not talking about the actual, like, stream audio. I'm talking about my volume thing was at, like, max for some odd reason. Well, whatever, that's fine now.
Captain Fantastique and the Brown Dirt Cowboy.
KG ruins everyone's day. What a shock. What did I do? What did I do today to deserve that statement?
Oh,
Aside from, like, a lot of things, but, like, today in particular, what did I do? But how's everybody in the call doing, though? You guys all doing good?
pretty all right.
I am doing good. Finally free from finals.
Actually, went out of my neighborhood. Went out of my neighborhood by myself for the first time in like 2.5 months.
Nice.
Hey,
Getting to finally explore the world like it needs to be.
TSS
Yeah, and like
Breath of
and like
the
ha-
Wild.
and like it's just funny. It's funny actually seeing Flushing Queens actually almost dead. Like Main Street and Roosevelt, like dead.
Oh man, I'm still not gonna do anything. The only thing I'm gonna do when I go outside is just either A, go straight to work, go back home, and then just lie in bed questioning why I'm not doing anything productive, and then repeat the cycle daily.
And Donnie has the perfect clip for the start of the evening. Wandering light tubers, pipe.
We do wander around. I don't know about light tubers, that's for sure, but pipe sounds exciting though. And play Animal Crossing. You are right on that one. And every now and then I would switch out Animal Crossing for mainly Dragalia though, but that's something for another day. I still need to try to get more content for Dragalia here on Twitch anyway. I'm trying to. It's just very hard to kind of get a niche audience to play or to watch a game that's on a mobile device, you know? Especially because it's like the screen, it just only takes up like barely 1/5 of the entire screen, so.
Yeah, you gotta be creative with your graphics on that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll figure something out eventually. But aside from my shenanigans and all that, we have, of course, to those who are watching here, have a unique cast with us tonight. We have, of course, as you heard, TSS. We had JPR. We have Polly. And we have Alpha Eevee. So everybody's, well, mostly everybody is here. As you guys already know, there's someone missing still. It's the usual. Poor lad. But aside from that, though, before he hops in just a bit, anything else you guys want to add? Anything else? How's your days been? Is it all good?
I
Well-
got ice cream at Dairy Queen, so that was pretty cool.
That's it?
Yeah, that's about my day. That's about how.
Hey,
I
at least John can get ice cream. I can't. I cannot, because if you go to like McDonald's, they don't even serve any ice cream anymore.
Oh man.
Well, I just finished up my cup of ice cream.
Your
I mean,
what?
I
of
mean,
ice cream?
I mean, I mean, I can't go into a store and get like soft serve ice cream.
Oh.
I mean, maybe if I'm lucky, maybe get the Mr. Softy truck. But it's like, I mean, other than going to the supermarket and buying it because that's the cheap way out. You can't over here.
Yeah, I can. You know, it's interesting to see how much is going to be changed up now with everything happening across the world. Of course, you know.
Things are slowly
I
opening up.
could have been
a
I
little
could have
bit.
been a fucking hard off right now if it wasn't for this stupid shit.
But here you
Well,
are instead
unfortunately.
with us. Is
I don't know
any
what's
better?
going on with-
Anyway.
Oh, actually, I went to the beach the other day to get
What?
beach badges.
Oh, okay.
So that we don't get the people from New York, TSS and Kevin.
Why do you have a beach badge for?
To go to the beach?
That's a thing?
Oh yeah, in New Jersey you have to pay to go on the beach. So
Hello?
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind then. I'm
It's
glad
a
I live
different
in
world
New-
up there.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
What's going
Well,
on?
because
when,
there's
when I want to go to the beach, I just go to the beach.
right now it's free. So everyone
Free
To access,
99.
to access this beach, you must have a beach badge, and Pokemon level 60 and above must obey your commands.
Yes. Well,
Shit.
now they're taking a lot of precautions because they know that it's going to be popular since probably everybody's summer plans got canceled. So I think, but people were pretty good about it. Like they were, you
Well,
know,
I'm glad to hear
being
that.
socially distant and, but yeah, there are 3 people playing ping pong, and like a policeman had to like drive up to them and tell them to stop playing. But they were like 6 feet apart, so I
I
didn't.
was about to say, how big is one of those tables?
Yeah, or maybe not ping. Whatever the, like I guess paddleball. They were just like they
table
had
tennis?
paddles.
Table tennis? Yeah, I think it'd be that.
I guess so.
That's a little smaller. I guess that could like cause concern. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, but so I don't know how this summer is gonna be. I'm just glad I got those because I was supposed to be going to Japan in less than a month, so that's canceled. So you know I have to do something fun. But
I mean, I have to.
Yeah,
wait,
we
I
are.
mean, I have to wait 5 months. So, but you know what? It's like you know, the people of Ghana has said it best: stay at home or dance with us.
No.
Pretty much.
Good lord, man. You know, I want to
Oh.
just ask you guys something real quick because the insanity has been going to the roof today anyway, relating to something for Pokemon. Have you guys been paying attention to the whole beta leaks that's been happening today?
I've
Yeah,
heard about
no.
that. Yeah.
You've heard a little bit of it. Okay. Well, to those who haven't, though, from what I'm being told, there is a beta release, or just came out of nowhere, for Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Specifically, Ruby and Sapphire. Emerald, of course, tied into Hoenn, but it's mainly from the Ruby and Sapphire line. And the interesting about it is that we see a lot of not necessarily sprite work. There is some sprite work, but there's also some artwork, like illustrations done by the developers to what the game would have looked like if they had gone in that particular route. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to sort of tackle it a little bit and just show you guys some of the images in particular as to what exactly they had in mind for Ruby Sapphire before it became what it is known today. So I wanted to kind of show that off a little bit. They don't
So we're
have
getting
too
Ruby and
much.
Sapphire, the beta version.
Yes,
Just like that explosion that was Gold Silver beta.
pretty much. Now I'm just looking through Twitter. I'm pretty confident maybe some people in the chat have seen some of it. You know, so I'm curious to see if let's see. Okay, so I guess I'll start off with some of this. We have some sprite work of the protagonists and antagonists, I guess you could say, from Fire Red and Leaf Green, particularly of Red and Blue. So I'm going to show off a little bit of this image here. So we're going to show it off here on stream right about now. So hold on just a second. I want you guys to see what was intended for Generation 3. So from what I'm told, this is the sprite work that was meant to
It was
be.
going to be more water.
Yeah, for something like that. No, not water.
Oh my god.
I want to
hate
believe
it.
that's definitely a placeholder.
No, these are all
I hate
placeholders
it.
for sure. Now, aside from that, though, there is another particular image. I don't know if this is fake or not. I'm just saying
This is Sega Genesis Red.
I need you guys to see the next image, though.
Oh my god!
Wait, what is it?
It's a tiny blue.
It's a tiny blue. Yeah, look at him.
Mini
Why is he
blue.
so small is what I want to know. What the hell?
Sell yourself. Smell you from
Peter.
down here.
No
Down
wonder
here.
he's so mad. He's like 3 feet shorter than Red is.
Tyrone, we had the same idea.
I need to find out where it
I
was in
can
particular.
smell you up there.
Small peepee.
Smell you later.
Yeah, so these are things that are happening right now. I'm not sure what's going on. It's a little nuts with that stuff. You guys can go and look it up for yourself. There are a lot of like technical things that they have for images, but it is pretty interesting.
PowerPoint. PowerPoints, by the way.
Hmm,
Jackass. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
damn.
But let me see if there's anything else in particular from this that is worth noting. So they just have some sprite work that would have been for back in the day. For some reason, Why Not's green in this one. I don't know why.
Why
Shroomish
not?
looks sad, so that's a thing. And that's really it for
I
some
mean,
of the
I mean,
bigger-
Shroomish
I
always
mean,
looks sad.
fake. I mean, it's difficult to be fake at this point because remember, you have to remember that the scaling of sprites is usually done later on as opposed to
Yeah.
then, and also Jibun de Kimeru is real, so I mean that's choose your own, so it's fine. Yeah. Short tactic sword T-bowing. Okay, we have another T-bowing
Mm.
incident. Cool. Nice.
Hmm.
Next.
No, that's all I had to say. Can you?
No,
I'm just gonna be right back real quick.
That's it. Sprites be crazy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Any news in the? Let's see it. I don't think there was any other news we had in the Pokemon.
Sure, Journeys too, because we have to fucking talk about that shit. Because
Oh
it's
yeah, that. Oh, the dub. I didn't even watch it this week. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh god.
I know they kept the wild battle theme. I know that.
I know
Yeah.
KG is pissed off about one particular soundtrack being
Yeah, and that's
Also-
what we're gonna.
The-
and that's
the
what we're
You
gonna
Say
talk
We
about.
Run.
should all be pissed off about it. It was a great,
Yeah.
this is a great theme.
Okay,
and
so
now it's
for
gone.
context, which one was it?
It was You Say Run.
no.
That's
what I call it.
I guess the Pokemon equivalent of that would be the Lugia theme, though.
Yeah, yeah, it's a Lugia
Lugia
theme.
Say Run.
Okay, TS.
Lugia says run and
This is my
flies.
question. Why
I guess
is
it can't really be called the Lugia theme because like it was only in one episode. But
why
That's
is
true.
I guess we need to talk about it because Sergi for some reason did not update the next in the USA section. It still says the Enter Pikachu episode's next, but
well,
Because
they haven't-
technically it's Canada, not the United States.
well, okay, so it's next in Canada. I like to think at this point, once it's dubbed, the US can get it.
Yeah, but we're getting 12 at a
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, so it's gonna
Yeah,
shoot from episode 1 straight to episode
Okay,
13 for what's
all
coming
right,
next.
so it got back to a technical. I guess it should say next in the dub or something. I don't know.
Well, I guess since we have a little extra time to talk about it, I assume most people in the chat are in the Discord, the JPR Discord, and friends. And now, if you want, you can customize your roles to where you get pinged when the PokePod is going live. We now have customized roles for like whenever people upload stuff, so it's not going to be like at everyone anymore.
Mhm.
So if you want the PokePod notifications, you just go to the roles channel and you do ! PokePod, and boom, you are all set up. You are good to go.
Nice.
Just thought I'd bring that up.
Nice.
Damn it! They didn't greenlight my idea where a guy just knocks on your house door and says the PokePod's on.
Well, that was a close second, but we ran into some budget issues with that one.
Hey!
No, we have to save the budget for the tracers.
Okay, fine. Maybe next time, Phil. Damn it. But
So,
yeah, that's cool.
but let's talk about the second Journeys episode because there's a lot of stuff in there that is good. Well, not a lot of stuff that's good.
No,
Most of the stuff
there is
bad.
a lot of stuff that's good about it. It's just that one single bad thing is the thing that's holding it back. I've never in my entire life watching so many different animation products out there have I seen one single issue be the thing that's holding it back from being downright perfection, because this series can have it all. It's being held back by that horrendous dub OST that's in the background that I am just so mad about. I can't understand how this is still an issue that is unfortunately plaguing the dub side of things, because you have some phenomenal, and I'm being serious, phenomenal voice actors this time
Yes.
around.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Such
Far
an
better
amazing
voice
Definitely.
actors than what they had instead of Moon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've never once seen a series that where a music is so bad that it just downright ruins everything from the show.
And they
And
found
yet
a
here
way
we
to
are.
make it worse. They found a way to make it worse.
Yeah, this episode here is just I can't say it's horrible because that just means I hate everything about it when in reality I don't. I
Let me
love
ask
the
this.
It's just frustrating, you know.
Let me ask
Yeah.
this. I know this. I pretty much I might know the answer to this question, but I'm curious now because I didn't get around to watching this episode. What about the moments of not just the fact that they replace music? What about the lack of music?
silence. Okay,
Yeah,
here's a perfect example for that one
how did
then.
they treat that?
Okay, I got a perfect example. Do you remember that segment when Go was counting down from 3, 2, 1 and then screaming Go? And then
Mhm.
there was a moment of silence. You see the little 3 dots in the sky, and then Go's just kind of questioning what happened. He turns around, he sees a Psyduck, and
Side
that
up.
one song plays like, and then of course, he's a little triggered by that because it's a Psyduck and not necessarily a Lugia. All right? Now,
Mhm.
in the dub, they have a song play in that moment. And then when the Psyduck appears, they still play that sound effect on top of that song, but the song is so high noise that the
It's
sound effect is
canceling out
very
the sound
quiet. But the sound effect was what made that scene hilarious. So you took out the one sound effect that was supposed to justify that scene by overlapping it with loud music that's unnecessary for that moment.
I was gonna say, like,
They managed to play two songs at the same time, just like the fucking X, Y, and Z episode where the fucking Greninja was hooked up to the machine.
yeah, I was just gonna say, like, it seems like I've only seen a few clips. I have not watched the full episodes because I don't want to put myself through that.
I have a lot to say.
God bless. All right, but I just noticed from the few clips that I watched, one was that Saida clip that KG just brought up, and the other one was like the transition into the part where they kept the wild battle theme, like during the raid battle when Ash fights Lugia, and
Yeah.
it just, I don't know, if to me it feels like the audio mixing is like so much worse this time around than it was
Yes.
before. Like Hayashi's music, the ones that they do keep, which is like barely anything, it's so much quieter than like the Goldfarb music. The Goldfarb music has like been turned up to the max. Like it just feels a lot louder than it used to.
Oh, God.
It sounds to me, and this is going to be obviously, I want to have a lot more faith in a freaking company that's allowed to do stuff like this. It sounds to me like the only reason at this point that we have music is because it's almost like they forgot to find a way to take out the audio for just the vocal parts. So they had to make a compromise here and was like, listen, we're gonna mute the entire fucking episode, dub over it, put our music on it, and let it go. And then for the like ones that were required to stay, like sound effects and music that were required to stay, they had to stay, but at risk, they had to play other music over it to overlap. It almost sounds like a 12-year-old edited it.
Well, my other issue is the fact that we ended up having the most jarring transitions, musical movements ever. Like, for example, when Go is running down the hill, you hear like this very pompous like rock song going on, and all of a sudden you just see it pan to the sky, it camera cuts to the sky to Lugia, and all you hear is fucking strings and fucking harps, and like what the fuck? It's like
And
you
they're
just
Go
still
die.
using the
it's like
terrible
it's like it's like
chase
it's like
theme
it's like it
for-
crashed into a fucking telephone pole, and then when the camera cuts back, the fucking song resumes. What the fuck is that?
Okay.
It's like somebody press fucking R on fucking on fucking Motorsport Grid to fucking respawn.
I saw a scene on Twitter. I saw a scene where it was the scene where Ash is like laid out on the ground and Yamper's there and Chloe.
Oh Jesus Christ! Oh God!
What's her name? Chloe, aka Koharu. Koharu is like trying to move out the way to not associate herself with Ash, and I think they're like I don't want to say Mickey Mousing it, but they're Tom and Jerrying it. Yeah, where every movement has to have a sound effect.
Oh,
They're doing that with the Ash scene, whereas the hilarious part about it was the fact that it was silent.
yeah.
The reason it worked so well because it was silent was because you can absorb the awkwardness of the situation. Whereas here, if you have the music, you can't appreciate any of it because it's being overridden by this made up OST.
And then the
Yeah.
sound noise of her tapping away or walking away from it is overshadowed by the loud music because for some reason, as John put it earlier, they made the sound go up to 110% here.
It feels like they're trying to like keep your attention too hard. Like they're
Exactly.
they're hand holding you while watching TV, which I didn't know which was possible. It's like, hey, this is gonna be funny. Watch this right here. The music's gonna tell you exactly what's going on. And it's like, no, what made it funny was the silence of the original scene.
Yeah, it's like that joke that somebody has to straight up tell you how the joke is worked.
Yeah. When someone says, I have a joke to tell you, you instantly ruin the joke because then like
And what makes it
Of
even
course, the
worse?
laugh.
What makes that scene even worse is before that, when Yamper freaking electric shocks Ash, right?
Mhm.
Freaking, he turns into fucking SpongeBob, like the fucking for a half a second. At the end of the damn shock. That's one of the worst reactions I've ever heard from Sarah.
And I've said this a million times before when we're talking about the dub because I make the comparison to Tom and Jerry a lot. But like I said before, the difference with Tom and Jerry in doing that was that they did that to match the characters who otherwise can't talk. Tom and Jerry are silent the entire time. So when the music comes, you like if Jerry moves and he runs, he's a smaller creature. So obviously you'll hear the xylophone, the ding, 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 ding. And then when Tom moves, he's a bigger creature. So you're going to hear the bum, 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 bum. It works better for them because they have the benefit of silence. Pokemon, no one's silent.
It's
So-
not a classical cartoon.
We are
Yeah.
We don't need the assistance. And to absorb a narrative, you're gonna need those absence of music. And then for when the good music comes in, you appreciate it more because we were silent for like what 5-10 minutes. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's just how
Right.
And another jarring piece of background music. Well, not so jarring, but I could definitely tell it was inspired. But if you go into the scene where Oak is in the car driving, Ash and everything, if you listen to it closely, it has the same melodic rhythm as Every Breath You Take by the
Mhm.
Police, only played in double time, like double the tempo.
Mm.
So Goldfarb ripped off of a fucking Police song. Nice.
Mm.
And it sounds like shit. Next.
I think what's just the most frustrating is that it's like they have so many good voice actors, like Ray Chase as Professor Cerise, and also Jeremy Lee as Chloe. Those are like two of my favorite current voice actors, and it's like, man, I would really love to like enjoy this product and appreciate their work,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, oh, that
It-
one
it's-
thing, like KG said earlier, that one negative thing is such a major turnoff that it's
So-
like I
It's
can't
such
sit
a major
there.
setback. Yeah.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing now at this point, at least at this point in the story, the biggest problem with the dub right now is the score.
That's
Exactly. Yeah. Pretty
that's
much.
literally it.
Everything else is just right.
And a little bit of the audio mixing as well right now is kind
Right. Okay. So the score
Yeah.
and the audio mixing are the problem at this point.
Yes.
But they fixed
Yeah.
the crappy voice acting thing that was a big problem in Sun and Moon because God, it didn't sound like anybody in Sun and Moon knew how to like emote properly a
Got
lot of the time.
Yeah, and also the Professor Sakuragi scene, like you
Mhm.
might have seen the clips on that.
Mhm.
The problem with that is that Goldfarb's music overtakes the fucking audio.
Right.
That's the problem. You can barely hear him. It's like, who the fuck mixed this?
Mhm.
Probably a fucking guy that they paid, the homeless guy that paid $5. So it's like they don't know, or a person that's deaf. I think a
Yeah.
deaf man can actually mix the audio better than that, but that's my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Everything else is just fine though.
Okay.
Yeah,
So basically,
Yeah, I love the voice acting. Listen. I'm not going to shit on a dub because whatever, you have to make money. Voice actors have to make money. People make music have to make money. I understand that. The voice acting is great. I approve of it. But the problem is, it's both the mixing, the guy who's creating the synths. I know it's not Goldfarb. How the hell can you make a triangle wave synth sound like shit? And why the fuck did you make a synth that sounds like somebody's having diarrhea?
Mm.
Farty fucking synth. Why? Oh, and the worst part, absolutely, is they got a fucking a shamisen fucking patch. Shamisen is the three string Japanese lute, and they're playing that to make it sound more Japanese, but it's an abomination to Asian music. So it's sounding like it's Japanese, but it's not. It sounds like shit.
Yeah.
My thing is, at this point, I'm trying to, and I know TSS has told me the answer 1,000 times.
Yes.
My question has always been, why are we still doing this approach? Only because at this point, there is a lot of anime that I've watched that don't even do this type of thing anymore. Even Dragon Ball stopped doing like their own made up score. They did it back then, but they stopped doing it now. If you watch Dragon Ball, and nowadays it keeps the same score as the Japanese. If you watch any anime nowadays, it normally keeps the same score as the Japanese. The only few animes I can think of that changed scores, I think, was Sailor Moon way back when they had the license with Deke.
Yes, Deke. Yeah, Deke.
Yeah, and that was atrocious in itself. And then just like Pokemon, Dragon Ball, and I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Had a different score than the original score.
Yes.
At that point,
I think even like the dub for like.
To be fair though, Yu-Gi-Oh's American score isn't terrible.
No, you got to remember this was during the time
Digimon.
of like the
Remember
gold
also
shine of
Digimon
4Kids.
was the same thing.
You're right.
Yeah.
Digimon had a different score too. Digimon.
Oh,
did.
and then that shit
It's
sucked.
primarily just the animes that are like targeted.
The Saturday
at
morning
children.
cartoon. I call them the Saturday morning cartoon anime.
Where it's like, hey, we can get away with this because most of the audience won't notice.
Yeah, and the reason they did that mostly was, I'm guessing, one of two things. One, it could have been, they had to afford them at the time. Maybe it was a different situation. Two, they probably had an easier time dubbing over the entire series by just muting the entire episode. And then dubbing and then putting music on top of what they just did. Now there's no excuse. We have entered an era. It is 2020. Technically, I don't even think any anime should be receiving this treatment at all, personally.
No.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
So
See,
I'm not sure why it's still happening.
Go ahead.
I see. I remember how movie 21, The Power of Us, the dub surprisingly kept the original score throughout its entire film. Now, by any chance, have you guys do you guys know why they decided to keep the score? Or
Goldfarb went to Japan with his family,
and
then he couldn't do it.
Evie, you want to know what that does? That makes me more angry because now I know it's fucking possible.
Okay, well,
yeah, ironically, because it's ironically that Goldfarb went to Japan with his family and they couldn't freaking have him do the music.
They're
all
like,
right, well, there you go.
Now we gotta waste $5 more to get the rights to the. And then they
No.
kept it for movie 22.
Well, there you go. Could we keep Goldfarb at Japan, please?
But the reason,
Somebody hire a team.
I feel like Goldfarb didn't go on vacation there. I mean, there's a good
No.
possibility that he might have, but it's more than likely because it was on Netflix and Netflix had the Japanese audio as an option for the first time ever, and you probably didn't want people that like have the Japanese audio be like, "Whoa, why does this sound completely different from the English product?" Because then that would raise a lot more awareness to the issue.
Yeah,
Then
then you're
Rumble
gonna
Duck.
see people knocking on people's doors and.
Yeah,
So-
pitchforks are gonna be raised at that time.
Those were the two big things. It was like you're gonna have the subs on Netflix, and you're also going to have Goldfarb on vacation for movie 20.
Now, here's where the real stinger, to me personally, here's where the real stinger could come in. I talked about this before. It could happen, and if it does happen, I think this could be a good thing and a horrendous thing. I think this series is also going to get the Japanese audio in terms of just the voices. The music is all going to be exclusively from the dub, from the occasional 1 to 2 tracks they tend to keep.
Oh God!
I am curious to see if they will do that, if they have the audacity to do that, and
if they do that, it will be the complete abomination of all time.
I'm actually completely I completely agree with KG. I also think it's gonna be obviously dub titles. Like it's not gonna say like Satoshi or like any of like the actual translations. It's gonna be like Ash and Pikachu. It could be like the exact English script just put over the Japanese and then have the dub music.
If it's
it's gonna be so bad.
Oh man.
I mean, here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Because I I know that's gonna happen probably more than likely what KG said is gonna happen, but I'm thinking about it like this. If you're taking the time to go out of your way to go into the subs, like the option menu on there to go and sub it, then your reward should be that you get the different score. I want to tell myself, like, for kids, it'll be a simple click of the button. They get the dub plus the dub music. Kids don't, I hate to say it, but kids don't care as much about the score as we do. They don't. They don't, unfortunately. I'm sure there's one kid out of the millions of kids that exist. It's like the fucking dub isn't the same as,
but I think it still gives that feeling. Like I'm sure when people heard Tears after the cloudy weather when they were kids during the I don't know, Butterfree scene. Like that's what made it so emotional.
Yeah, you know,
I remember when I was a kid, and there were like there was a handful of like the Sinnoh region episodes, like where no Togepi has gone before, and then like when Ash fought Tobias. There were a handful of episodes that kept the entirety of the Japanese soundtrack, and like even as a kid, like before I like got into the subs, I was like, you know, I can't put my finger on it, but this episode like feels different. It feels more important, you know.
Yeah.
And John, you brought up a really good point, because one time I was younger and there was the Diamond and Pearl episode with Riolu in it. And I remember that episode the best only because that episode for some reason felt better than the others. And I couldn't put my finger on it at the time.
Those two episodes might be like two of the best Pokemon dub episodes ever.
As a kid, I could not put my finger on it at the time why that episode was so good. I was like, why can I remember this episode so well? And then I watched that Twitter clip earlier last week, and someone said, oh, it's because the entire dub of this episode kept the OST for the entire. I was like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me the whole reason I liked this episode was because it was untouched?
Aside from just the voice change to fit with...
I don't know why, but in Diamond and Pearl, it was like, we know what the important episodes are, and they would keep the OST for the important episodes. Like
weirdly enough, the Rangers and I think the other characters that weren't Ash and the others had better voices. I don't know why, but they had better voices than the main. They
had a good cast.
Yeah, like the Ranger, the guy who was doing the Ranger in that episode did a real good job, like an unnaturally good job for Pokemon. He didn't sound like he was talking to children. Where then we cut back to Sarah and she's like, "Where are you, Riolu? I know you're there." I'm like, "Oh, jeez."
This was during the time when she was getting used to it.
She was still getting her footing together, but she's better now. Obviously, I was going to ask about that for this episode. How was Sarah in this episode?
Fine, but just from that one bit.
Yeah.
By SpongeBob. Do you mean like the laugh like that?
No. Because it sounded like what it sounded like was when she got shocked. It sounded like she wanted to do Mr. Mime voice, but it ended up coming out as she tried to like over exaggerate. It ended up sounding like a different. It ended up sounding like a combination of Mr. Mime and SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't sound good. It's like one of the worst delivery line ever.
Reflect, Mr. Krabs.
I mean, you gotta watch that clip because seriously, it's like oh.
Yeah. Once again,
going back to
go on, Yuvi.
Sorry, I just want to give my take on this whole music thing because you know, like, see, I do agree with you that kids nowadays don't really care as much for the score when watching shows or anime in general. But I think they can definitely find some significance in the soundtrack when it connects well with some of the episodes. Like like you brought up Tears Under Cloudy Weather. It's been used for a good amount of moments back in the original series. Yeah, exactly. And that just what solidifies these episodes for these children, really. So, and just coming to today with Goldfarb's music, you're just not going to have that same kind of impact.
No. I fear this, like 10 years from now, I'm going to hear little Timmy come at me and be like, my favorite soundtrack from Pokemon, the TV series, was the one that goes... And I'm going to cry so hard knowing
then we have Go's theme, which is just about as bad, which is like so jarring.
It's sad that KG mentions that because weirdly enough, I'm sure years from now there is going to be a group that's like, ever since they changed the Goldfarb theme, and I'm going to be like, what?
And that's true. Like the generation that's going to grow up won't realize what is being held back from dub, man, and that is potential greatness.
And I want to agree with Tyrone's earlier point where it's like if they did like actively seek out the subs on Netflix, they would be rewarded with the original music. But the thing is, they don't even want people to know that like dub music is like a concept that exists. Like they want to keep that as far under the radar as they possibly can.
Like I said, but at this point, all animes don't do that anymore. They don't need to do that. So I'm not sure why Pokemon's so stuck in the past when it comes to that.
I don't know if it's still licensing rights, which doesn't make sense because I think TSS, you've mentioned this before.
Yeah,
the music is not necessarily owned fully.
But
I mean, but they still kind of, in a way.
He said $1 billion company for some reason can't afford.
No, they can afford it.
But it's like Yuki Hayashi.
Well, people always make it out as like a copyright issue, and it's like,
but it's not.
like if it was a copyright issue, they wouldn't be able to pick and choose what themes they want to keep and which ones they don't want to keep, because they obviously have a list of like certain themes that they want to keep every episode. And B, they wouldn't be able to have these one-off things like movie 21, movie 22, where they can just keep the entire soundtrack at will. Like if it was a copyright thing, it would be 100% dub OST the entire time.
And yeah,
so
it definitely is a money issue.
Okay, because I was wondering. I mean, even in the original series, like, even especially in AG, oh my gosh, there was so much dub music. Even though it wasn't Goldfarb, it was just there was so much of it. Like,
it's not even a money. It's laziness. It's pure laziness. You want to know why? Because I know what they would have to do, and I'm just saying that obviously I'm not in the major field of it. But in my mind, what you would have to do in order to do this takes more work. Instead of muting the entire episode and then dubbing over it and putting music on top of that, what they're doing is that in order to keep the soundtrack intact, thank you, they would have to get all the songs, remember the timestamps to each and every song and when it was used in the episode, remember the moments of silence, so they have to remember the gaps, put the songs in the timeline appropriated with each timestamp, and then they would have to dub after that, and then they would mute the clip, then put the original songs in without vocals, obviously, then they have to dub over that.
But what about let's say the production company sends out the track with the audio laid down, like the sound effect, like just the basic sound effects, not the Pokemon cries.
Yeah, that's generally how it works.
With the music and the sound effects.
Yeah, because they did that for this episode, as you could tell with the sound effect during the Psyduck scene.
Yeah,
so I think it's like they get everything, the audio of the people themselves and the sound effects, and then from there they have to include the music that relates to that scene. The thing is, I feel like they keep everything intact, including the music, and then they decide to pick and choose which ones they want to replace and just swap it out with whatever dub score they got. Because another issue with some of the dub score soundtrack is that they don't necessarily fit with the right scenes. They're just thrown in whenever they feel like it. Some songs in the dub could work, but they put it in the wrong moment when you don't need it in that scene. They could be used in a different scene.
And as I mentioned, sometimes they completely change musical movement from a camera cut, and that's not good.
Just relying on camera cuts in itself just to arrange music, that's not a good sign at all.
I think that's mostly just Goldfarb's composition style. Because like he has this thing where it's like every scene has to be done down to a whatever.
Pokemon is not a fucking soap opera. Yeah. The end.
He has like this ballet style where it's like every time this character's on screen, their theme plays, or anytime X thing is happening, we have to play this theme, and it's like it's just not a great approach. I don't think. I think that works for different mediums, but like not anime. Like what are you doing with that?
I love how somebody says his music tells a story that I don't want to read.
Yeah.
I agree with that though, Pika. But like, here's my thing. Once again, and I just want to reiterate because I know it sounds like we are.
His music would be great in an audiobook.
No, look, another thing just to add to that. Once again, just to be clear, just so I can make sure everyone understands this, I am not attacking Goldfarb's music. I am attacking the fact that the music does not go with the series because there's already a score built for it from the very beginning. His soundtrack, his musical compositions can go to a new series that needs a composer that doesn't have a soundtrack to accompany it. That is perfectly fine. He can make music for all he wants. I'm just saying, I don't like that they're using his songs to replace other songs that were built for the show since day zero, being built behind the scenes to match with what's going on in the scenes. The music makes the show, and it is important that both the voice acting, the music, and the effects that come along with it all tie together beautifully to make something remarkable and something fun for everyone to watch and enjoy. But the moment you decide to try to pull one little piece from that and replace it with something else, it's not going to function properly. And that's what they're doing with this show. You have amazing animation. You have amazing voice acting talent with some very memorable and iconic voices that people know of now. You know, like with people saying about Lucy's voice actress being the one to play Chloe, for example. Roy's voice actor being the one to play, if I'm correct, Professor Cerise. And, you know, just to name a few there. So that's fine. I'm very happy with the voice talent. It is so good. It is incredible. I love it. Yes, they might have one or two little flaws here and there, but don't everybody have their moments? It's not that much of a big deal as long as everything else is fine. The only issue is that one thing that is needed to keep everything in place is unfortunately the major factor to making the show great, and it sadly got replaced.
Awful if they just kept like all of the game music. Like if they wanted to replace most of the Hayashi originals, that would be all right. I still wouldn't like if they did that, but like, you know, at least keep the music from the games, because that is like specifically Pokemon music, you know,
Exactly.
like it's not just like for the anime. But you think like, and they do sometimes keep the game music, but there are times where it's like, I think, remember in XY, they had the XY gym leader theme. That never got kept in the dub. That was never kept in the dub. They only kept the trainer and the wild battle themes. They would never keep the gym leader theme, the Elite Four theme. Well, they did keep the Elite Four theme like once, but it was in Sun and Moon, not XY. So I don't even get it. Like, there's like these weird inconsistencies too.
They kept XY's Elite Four theme in Sun and Moon.
Yeah, they kept it in Sun and Moon when Kiawe catches his Marowak, and I was like, why did you keep this team here? I was like, why'd you keep this here and not like in the actual time in XY where Alon was fighting an Elite Four member?
The only reason that bugs me is because the XY Elite Four theme is one of my favorite soundtracks in XY.
Yeah, they never kept it in XY, but they did keep it in Sun and Moon. I had no clue why.
See, I'm okay with Goldfarb. You know, if they're going to remove the original score, that's fine. Like, I'm not gonna like about it. That's fine. But of course, there comes the other issue, and we talked about this before. Is that Goldfarb doesn't do a good job arranging the music well. Like, you know, you're in a battle, and all of a sudden you hear like these xylophones, music involving xylophones, strings,
fucking strings, like violins, like what the fuck am I watching? Am I watching Pokemon or watching the fucking Village People?
And there's
like
no
what the
silence separating any of it.
Here's my thing.
Yeah.
I've even though this is such a backwards old style of doing things, I'm not even mad that the dub music is on top of the series. Like, I guess it's a necessary evil. I just wish that the guy that Goldfarb himself knew battle music. Like, I remember what's that one song? And thus the world should turn to ash in Pokemon movie 2000. I'm sure, is that Japanese or not?
I'm pretty confident the entire dub score was all.
That's American.
That's American.
That song's fucking popping. Like, I love that song. They use because unlike today, WB actually had fucking money to hire competent fucking composers. That song was used awkwardly in the Aqua versus Magma battle, but it's neither here nor there. But it was a good song. Like, it was a good song.
I liked a lot of the tracks, even from the Mewtwo Strikes Back movie. Like the one
soundtrack is good.
There's one that kind of sounds like this creepy lullaby when they talk to the holographic Nurse Joy, and that was always really cool.
And
I
yes,
like that
3-on-3, as was just mentioned.
Oh, 3-on-3.
Oh, yes.
3-on-3 is so good. Oh my god.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun,
The other
dun,
issue is that it's like none of the music has any breaks. It wouldn't be like as grating if there was like little, even like just a few seconds of silence between tracks.
Unfortunately,
like,
Gopher doesn't know silence.
Yeah, there's even this great example. I think Sergi posted it in our server, where it was a Sun and Moon League episode, I believe, and they kept the intro theme for the episode. It was like just the generic like title theme from either Best Wishes or XY or something like that. And so they kept the title theme. And then as the battle begins, it goes into, I think it's the XY trainer theme, and they kept that as well. So in the original, there was like maybe 2 to 3 seconds of silence between those two tracks. And in that like 2 to 3 seconds, Goldfarb fills it with dub music between two Japanese pieces of music that they kept. And I was like, why? What was the point of adding that? I was like, that's so, ugh.
Robzo brought up a good one, the movie 3 OST. I like the song where Molly is battling Misty. That is a good song. I don't know where that song
movie 3 has like good compositions.
It's
just
so good. Like, it's really good. So yeah, I just, if we're gonna replace the dub, I wish the dub would just get replaced with the subs. I'm sorry, I wish the original would just get replaced with some just good battle music, some good or just good music in general. That's my issue. It's like,
this is why we stand Best Wishes forever.
Oh yeah,
it's also like he's not even making like battle themes. He's making a theme for when Flamethrower hits. He's making a theme for when Thunderbolt hits. He's making a theme for like all. He's making
a rock song that a 15-year-old in his garage can make better.
Most of the time, he's making themes for every little action that happens in the.
Yeah, I remember when he tried to make a little musical theme for when Pony-chan just moves. Like every time it bounced around, it was like dun 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 dun.
It's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, it didn't work. I didn't like it. I wasn't digging it. But yeah, I completely agree with you guys. That's a problem. And
then he had that same theme for when he became just a bigger Zygarde, but it was just deeper.
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah. Let's just put it down a couple of octaves and it sound good. No, sorry. Next.
Yeah.
Overall, I
did
guess,
that for. Oh,
I was just gonna say that's my take on this whole thing. I have nothing more to add to this conversation.
Listen,
but Polly, you wanted to say something.
Goldfarb makes great Christmas albums. He should remain just fucking making Christmas albums. Thank you.
I know. I feel like we've been talking about this for years, and it's like, God, I don't even have anything left to say. It's just like,
I'm already wiped out.
I don't think it's ever gonna change. Like, I hate to be a pessimist, but like, God, I really feel like it's just not gonna change. There's already been so much like public outcry about it over the past few years, and they haven't changed any kind of their practices. So I just don't think it's even worth talking about anymore. Not worth saving.
Yeah, right. But Polly, I know you said you wanted to add something. Was there anything you want to add?
Oh, it was just gonna open up a can of. I was thinking about an episode that I was annoyed at. Besides the Diantha and Ash thing, I think it's at the end of DP91. Oh, never mind. They kept that.
Save. No.
I was saying there was something in that I think I was annoyed by, but I'm glad they kept that. But see.
Yeah, see, the dub is already throwing you so off because the fact that they have to replace the songs.
Oh, I remember what it was. It was actually in Best Wishes, and like I'm a hypocrite because I was talking about how much I love it because it did keep most of the music. But there's one episode. It was one of the final episodes when Iris and Silent are saying goodbye to Ash, and they're about to go off on the train. And there's that whole montage that plays of the memories. And I think the original song that played was called Calm the Dragon Pulse from one of the Zekrom Reshiram movies. And it was just so beautiful. And then the dub replaced it with like some kind of weird synth that like didn't sound emotional at all. And I don't know. I mean, I know we've been talking about that.
That was Loeffler's last season before he was replaced by Goldfarb. And he wasn't much better. Like, I don't know why, but like, in Best Wishes, his dub music just became so much more boring and like one-dimensional. Like everything just sounded the same. I would still take it over Goldfarb, but I was like, man, it wasn't good.
Yeah,
it at least stack up to his Diamond and Pearl compositions, which I thought was probably his best work, honestly.
Yeah,
I agree.
All right. Well, I hope we got our thoughts out for the dub anyway. Once again.
I was gonna say, so other than that, Koharu and everybody else, the Koharu Go and Sakuragi were fine voice wise.
Yeah, I'm just glad we
yeah.
have some good
So far.
voice talent and nothing similar to the likes of what we had to go through with Sun and Moon with Riri.
Oh no.
Now I don't have to worry about the dub and the voices.
Snow, icy wind.
Okay,
it's
you know
nice
what?
That Jeremy Lee's able to actually sound like a young girl, not like a 40-year-old teacher.
Yeah, she sounds like she would voice Lusamine, not Lily.
Yeah.
If she wasn't forced herself to try to sound so young in that one. But whatever, that's the past now, thankfully. We can move forward and look for better and greater things on the sub side. So, let's see how they handle it in Netflix. I'm still thinking it's going to
Please
do the
come
Japanese audio.
Please come back. I'm like so tired of only having dub episodes.
We're never getting it back.
Also,
Only in the movies.
before we continue, I just wanted to make one little tiny note. We know that the majority of anime series right now are on hiatus. One that isn't, surprisingly enough, is Yokai Watch Jam. They only took a 1-week hiatus, and they're actually still airing new episodes. So I'm wondering if their workflow is not affected by this.
Maybe they have so many episodes up ahead that they've already can do this.
I guess if there's a silver lining, it means that there's an off chance that sometime in the future the dub catches up to the sub, and then when the sub resumes, they just don't have time to make dub music. That's a pipe dream, I
I
know.
think what also may happen too, I think to make up for it, I think when we do get subs again, well, the episodes again, they're probably going to do like double episodes on some weeks.
They might.
For example, if there was a to be continue situation where there was a 2-parter, instead of just giving us one episode and waiting next week, they just give us both episodes.
I feel it's more likely they'll just cut out filler. Like they'll be like, this episode didn't matter. Let's just remove it from our story.
Throw it away.
Yeah, but for now, the only thing that matters is that the staff is fine. They're all okay. Everyone's quarantined, taking care of themselves. That's the only thing that really needs to care for right now. And as long as that's okay, and as long as we don't lose anyone, and as long as everybody stays healthy and fine, when all of this is done and over with, we can go back to it perfectly fine. Until that day comes, though, let us just continue to share our, thoughts and prayers to everybody affected by this crisis. And hopefully it will end real soon. Hopefully. But let's change things up a little bit. How about we start going into the more positive side of things now? Because, obviously we are about to complete hour 1 of our 2-hour usual pod. And I think this would be the appropriate time for us to kind of go into wave 2 or part 2, however you want to call it, of our Japanese opening rankings of post-reboot era, as I like to call it, because it really is, because Best Wishes and Onward is literally post-reboot with everything happening. So I'm curious to see how things are going to turn out for this. Once again, ladies and gents, I would love to get your support in this one. Similar to how we handled things last week, I want you guys to also participate in the fun as well and join us in ranking the final openings or the second act of openings for the series, which is going to be from Best Wishes, XY, XY, and Z, Sun and Moon, leading down to the recent series of Pocket Monsters 2019, otherwise known as Pokemon Journey. So, is everybody here all good to go? Does everybody got their list set, etc.? And are we all ready for whatever debate shenanigans we're probably going to get ourselves thrown into? Because I ain't prepared for that, buddy. I am.
Get out your umbrellas and rain boots.
Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Okay, so folks, this is where things begin, because now we get into part 2 of our discussion. I left everything to the way it was originally. However, I did update something that was not here before. As you notice, I have removed E completely from this one. And that's only because I just wanted to update that to fix this one. Yeah. we're no longer going to split this up into 5 different ones. We're only going to go into 4. I think that'll make things a little bit more interesting because I noticed with how C had just like one track in it, I think it made more sense to just have an S, A, B, and an E tier. What do you guys think?
I see.
Damn.
Sounds good.
This will make things a little bit more interesting because now you have to really decide what truly is.
Well, hold
in the E
this shit.
tier.
Hold up. That means songs that I thought were alright now just suck.
No, they can be in the lowest of B tiers, or they could go straight down to E.
How much did it cost, KG? Everything.
Everything.
All right, I know one of
But
those
at least it's
down
perfectly
in E-
balanced, as it
I know
should
one of
be.
those down in E has to be like the NPM remix from like 2001 or 2002.
Oh,
but
you
what's the
got
other
it.
one down there?
No, I
No,
didn't
no,
want
it's
that
both
to
of
be a
them. It's
B
it's
tier.
both of them.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. All right, we're good.
C had a
Oh
significant
yeah, the
meaning.
symphonic.
No.
Oh my god.
All right, so as you can see from the ranking here, we have as follow. With S ranking, we have Battle Frontier, the Psycho Everyday band version, Spurt for A tier, Advanced Adventure, OK, Ready Go, Mrs. It, Pokemon Master, the original. Then the other one was, I believe, High Touch 2009, was it?
Yes.
I think that was a 2009 remix.
KG, you got a whole thing of people in the chat going bring back C.
No. For B tier, we have Challenger, High Touch, Psycho Everyday, the original, Together. We also have Rivals, Together, the 2008 remix. Don't question that 2007 one. That's meant to be 2008. I just didn't have a 2008 one to use. And in E tier, we have the medley, and then we have whatever that last track is supposed to be. I honestly forgot. But,
Misase Pokemon Master.
I can
White
get behind this
yes.
because Japanese themes are objectively better.
Yeah, yeah. If Polly actually brings up a really good point, the Japanese ones we've already agreed are just really good. All of
I
them.
say the worst opening on this list is still like better than half the dub openings.
That's true.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, so this is how we're handling it here, folks. As you can hear from my dogs already raging at the fact that I removed C as well for some odd reason. But aside from that, we will now be having to question whether these tracks truly fit in with the 4 letters we have here. S, A, B, or E. This is where things are going to get a little more interesting now because as you mentioned before, Tyrone, now you have to decide whether a track truly deserves to be in the worst ranking possible or try to see if you can find a way to put it into B tier. Let's get at it then, why don't we?
Yes.
Alrighty then, so let us now move into the post-reboot era. With this one, we have now moved into the best wishes side of things with the one song that has lasted for almost over 80-something episodes.
Yeah, the
that,
longest lasting intro.
Yes, and it's of course titled the series itself, Best Wishes.
Oh god.
All right then, so let's get right into it, everybody.
Sheesh. So many
A tier under Ready Go.
Yeah, low A. I
I
love
could
this
go with
song.
low A.
My
I think
problem with
it's
this song
alright.
is that it lasted too long. That's my only
Yeah.
issue. But other than that, it's a good song. It
I
just
think it's like a little bit generic compared to some of the other ones in this list, but like it's
Mhm.
not bad. Like it's
It's also the only opening that was animated by Creatures Inc.
well, Polly actually brought up a good point when we were watching Best Wishes a while back. She said that it actually has a nice little message inside that in the lyrics. Now, granted, I don't really read the lyrics. Pokemon is a lot, so for that, I'll say just a low A. I'll agree with the low A for you guys, just because Polly took the time to dissect it.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I am fine wherever everyone ranks it. I know it's kind of generic.
Okay, I'll put it in E then. There we
No,
go.
no.
Oh, that
But
was also
I
your line.
really, this actually is one of my favorite lyric. This opening has one. What am I saying?
You like the
This
lyrics?
opening has my favorite lyrical. Yes. Because it's kind of, the whole theme is obviously looking fondly on the past, but moving on to the future. And I think it was just the perfect message to start out Best Wishes. Even though we're not happy with all of the little details in the reboot, Ash still being 10, But
Terrell.
what does Terrell say?
He said put it in C.
No.
But C doesn't exist.
I associate this with Terrell because of his reviews.
Because of his reviews, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm looking at the lyrics here now, and I just love, like, if I listen, I can hear a nostalgic voice and a voice from the future, always praying for me. I hope you'll be okay. And, like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't want to say too much, but I also realized that I think this ties nicely into Type Wild, because I always like to think of this opening as Ash singing this opening, since he's the one that's, like, the first line is literally, oh, it's just my first time in this place, my first time smelling this wind, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it very similar message in Type Wild, when it's like, well, I've said goodbye to Pallet Town, a bit of time has passed, even though I have memories of a few painful things, you know, I notice I don't even notice as they fall out from a hole in my backpack. I don't know. These are like,
if you want,
accurate.
if you want a close representation of what Type Wild, the message of Type Wild, Danessa Perry's English version, that was on that was a B-side.
It was almost to a 1-to-1 with some little tweaks here and there.
It's weird. I'm gonna weirdly speak for Terrell only because I'm quoting his review. He said, because I remember Terrell said he likes the opening. The problem was that the opening lasted almost 81 episodes, I think. So I think he was just worn out by it. That's why he put it at low rank, and that's weirdly why I would put it at like in the B section as well.
Yeah,
but
I think it would have been better if they added more Pokemon, because I liked what High Prof said in the chat just now, how they kind of revealed the Pokemon like ever so slowly.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah, but
until
like
episode 20.
I feel like they should have like brought in like a second wave of like unknown Pokemon.
Oh, like they could have used lyric 2 or verse 2. And then update it with new Pokemon that are going to fit with that time, you know?
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah, that's the issue I have
think
with
by
it.
like episode 14 or something, like all the Pokemon were like visible, and I was like, okay, this isn't gonna change again for a while.
And that while took about a year and a half, buddy. Good God.
I'm fine with high B, low A. Either or.
Yeah, I would either put with a high B for this one, because I'm also thinking about the animation side of things, and that unfortunately is what kind of
so basically what KG is saying is that he hates Creatures Inc. Next.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
I hate that they were underutilized. Is that a better way to go at it? Yeah, I hate
but let's go ahead and take a look at the polls. See what the chat has to say.
Alrighty then. So we have for E a total of, drumroll please, 0 votes. Thank you. That was a little delayed, but I think that might have been my own fault there. We have
I failed you, senpai.
1 vote for S tier. So somebody thinks it's worthy of S tier. Not 1, I'm sorry. 8 votes for A tier. And 7 votes for B tier.
Ooh, narrow margin there.
Just
all right.
Very back to back. Once again, this could be a tie between, like, as you said, the lowest of B's. I mean, not the lowest of B's, like
the highest of B's, lowest of A's.
Exactly. So,
but it's better than High Touch 09 though, because
Yeah, I grew more with Best Wishes opening. This was also around the time when it was exciting when the black and white games came out, you know. You were expecting greatness, so this song was also tied into that too.
Yeah.
So I would agree with you. If we were to put it like above High Touch, but below Message of Pokemon Master, I think that would be fine as well. At the same time, having it under Challenger isn't that bad
too, considering Best Wishes was supposed to be like a soft reboot.
Yeah, but for me, Challenger was rated higher than that, so it's just a community thing.
Yeah, but it's off by 1 vote too, as well. Actually, no, 2, because technically somebody also went and voted it for S tier, so it also shot it up a little bit. So I would say that it probably would be around the lowest of A's, if that's okay with everybody.
All right,
that sounds
fine.
I also
that's fine.
I also want to add one thing, just to make things a little bit more challenging for everybody here in the call. You are to only have 3 S songs.
That's fine.
All right. then.
Well, spoiler alert. There are 0 S songs for me left.
Ooh, this is gonna get interesting then when we get to them. Alrighty then. So, what do you say we continue moving forward then, ladies and gentlemen, with this one?
Oh wait, JT, I know where the issue is gonna come in. Fuck. Okay.
Let us now get it's gonna be for this song right here. Moving on into the Best Wishes second opening. Finally, we got ourselves a brand new song, and I think that might have just been the only reason why I shot this up a little higher is because, god damn it, we finally got out of that Best Wishes opening one. We finally got something new, and we returned back to the traditional animation formula that's been well known for the Pokemon anime series for the opening. So, I think opening 2 does a much better job at kind of giving people an idea of what Best Wishes is really all about.
Yeah, I like being Arrow.
I like Being Arrow. I really do. I think this is one of my, and I wouldn't say it's my favorite Best Wishes track, but I would definitely put it like in second place for sure. Out of all the 4 ones.
I actually don't like it as much as the first opening, but I do think that the 2013 remix is really good.
Yeah,
I know we're not
that's
there
the
yet.
same. Yeah, that's the same. Yeah, it's the same for me. I actually rank it lower than the first opening for me, but not by much. It's like maybe it's like 1 placement. I mean, that's not even.
Yeah.
Well, in this case, it'll be 2. But
My love for being Arrow mostly comes from, oh my god, a new opening.
I also don't like being Arrow. I'm not saying I like Rika, but it's just not a personal favorite of mine. Like
it's okay.
It has that traditional standard anime feel to it that doesn't have Pokemon written in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing in that opening that really makes you connect to the Pokemon world. It's the
I
animation.
feel like that's kind of a staple. I think you need like a Pokemon connection.
I liked Best Wishes first opening, showing off like the whole fun little once a Pokemon gets introduced, it'll show up in the 3D animation. It was different, it was new, it was innovative. I liked that. But then when I finally saw Ash in an opening again, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. He is an opening sometimes. And like I was losing my shit because I'm like, oh, there's Ash and he's in this weird pillar area with Pikachu using Thunderbolt. Dawn came back, unfortunately. But
hey. Well, let's not forget the other reason why I don't like this is because they replaced Dawn with Cameron.
Yeah,
didn't the Dawn scene have like a segment in the lyric where it's like Hikari?
Hikari, yeah, they said it, and then all of a sudden, the first episode that Cameron appeared, I was watching the opening, and he jumped in. I was like, what? It's like I almost yelled at my computer.
Yeah, because basically Kotetsu's the new Hikari. Imagine if they instead of saying Hikari, it's like Kotetsu now.
Yeah, I almost yelled too, but for different reasons. I saw a little blue creature that I didn't like.
Oh.
Yeah, the headband.
Well, we know how that turned out.
But yeah, that just most of my joy of this opening comes from the fact that it was a new opening. Like
that's how it is for me. I don't like it. I like it because it replaced the song that I've gotten tired of, but at the same time, I wouldn't call this one of Rika's best performances.
No, because actually, let me see.
I would say,
I mean, she hits more C5s in the song than Best Wishes, but that doesn't mean it's a better song.
Yeah, see, the thing is, there's nothing really to connect with this song. I mean, like for example, with Polly pointing out the lyrics for Best Wishes, there was something in it that really tied it all together and made it really feel like a brand new adventure is to unfold. With Be an Arrow, it's like the adventure continues and tradition.
Yeah, oh, sorry, wait. I thought
C4.
it's okay. I was also annoyed that Burgundy is my favorite female character in the whole show, but I was annoyed that they didn't include her. They didn't include Georgia. I forget Bianca and
Trip
and Stefan were all right. Well.
I
thought
so unfortunate, but I think they did that because they were only including the trainers that were battling in the league, plus Iris and Silent.
That's true, but it's like we weren't there yet, and I think that, like, at least when this first started, like we were still kind of in the stages of like the Don George tournament.
Oh, you know what would have been great though, Polly? Had part 1 with Dawn included in it only used characters that were in the Don George tournament, and then when Dawn left, they then replaced it with the league characters.
They could have just
They also randomly put like all the legendaries in this opening, even though they don't actually appear in the series. Like,
But they
do
appeared
randomly
in the
put them.
movie. That's all.
Yeah, they appear in the
Yeah.
movie, and it's
Show up
like,
in the movie.
okay, why are they here?
Yeah, the
It's
movie.
just promotion for the games, I guess. Who would have thought?
Don't worry, there's another opening later that's gonna do the same thing.
I guess for me, I would put this version at like the top of B, and then I put the remix at like the bottom of A.
What? Oh, okay. Actually, okay. You said the bottom.
Yeah,
Fine. All right. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I can live with
Let's
that.
take a look at what the community has
that's
to say.
just me.
Well, for me personally, those two are actually on my bottom A.
Mm.
But anybody here in the call has anything they want to add for this one, or shall we go ahead and
No.
move on into the community?
Let's go to the
Yeah,
community.
let's talk to the
No. Yeah.
Alrighty then. So, excuse me, I'm eating grapes. But
Let's screw you, grapes. No, I'm kidding.
okay, I'm sorry. I'll put
Enjoy.
those shit to the side. All right, I'm sorry. I was trying to be a healthy boy.
Joe Colin.
No, you're good. You're a man of culture.
No,
Enjoy
that
them
no,
grapes.
no, that would imply that KG actually eats wheat germ.
Oh,
Now,
go ahead.
for S tier, we got a grand total of 0 votes. Huzzah!
Why you hype it up to make it sound? Go ahead.
Whenever I read the letters first, that means they got the weakest score. So, E tier
should just
coming
mix it up
into
more.
second place, third place, I'm sorry, with 1 vote somehow.
All right.
Third place or second place going to A, which is with 6 votes. And then last year is B with 10 votes. So a lot of people in the community also agreed that B and Arrow should probably be in B.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
I don't know where I would put this. I honestly would probably put this in between. No, I can't put it above Together because I love Together more.
Top of A or top of B. Sorry, top of B.
No,
Yeah, but it's not a better song than Challenger though.
and
You
also
challenge that?
yeah, but I also like Together as well. I like Together to me sounds more of a better song,
Me too.
structure wise, than Be an Arrow and Psycho Every Day. I mean that's an amazing song too.
It's true. I didn't even see that one right there. Yeah. I kind of agree with that placement.
Yeah, it's definitely better than Rivals, but that doesn't really say much.
And if you don't agree, you can make your own tier list.
which
So,
we will
yeah.
provide links to it at the end of this segment if you guys would like to do one for yourself. Of course, try to see if you can follow our rules as well if you want to go with an S, A, B, and E tier and try to keep 3 songs in S ranks. I want to see how challenging it might be for you to just keep 3 in S. Or maybe it might be easy. Maybe you only have 3. I don't know. We'll see how things go for that. But I'm curious to see where people have to go with this one. Now, let us now move into the third opening. The one that deceived and lied to me week after week after week. Best
But at least
Wishes
it sounds
Season
good.
2.
Oh, it sounds good
I
though.
love this
Low-
opening.
Yeah.
low A above High Touch 2009.
Like purely for that 10-second opening, I think it deserves A.
This opening hype as fuck when the league was over.
It's actually like so hyped for Best Wishes for no reason whatsoever.
And we get Chili and Chris.
Even now, I get hyped for that opening, even though I know all that shit didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what? Like, you know how a lot of people would say, like, like, Best Wishes was like beta X and Y. Like, Best Wishes built the foundation for whatever was to come within X and Y.
Yeah, and
And-
the character development
yeah,
stagnated. And that's why-
well, that's not what we're going to be discussing for this one, but I'm saying, like, this is pretty much beta X, Y, and Z right here to me, in my opinion.
Well,
this
it
is
tried.
an amazing opening that does such an amazing job with trying to convey a story in the time that it has, with an amazing remix of a song that many people weren't really that fond of to begin with, and enhance it with different instrumentations and also using different lyrics to go along with it. And of course, using characters that are significant in the games. Getsis, N, and Sisters, Reshiram, to name a few, and of course Team Plasma as well, the main villains of the storyline. And of course, we cannot forget, randomly, Genesect. I don't get that.
Oh, yeah,
movie
they were-
7,
Oh.
movie 16
yeah, movie
promo.
shit. Movie shit.
It actually was in that one episode where the Genesect did appear.
But it
so-
never
Yeah.
appeared. It
It's-
just only had like a scene, like a cameo.
Yeah,
in the-
it was like a flashback scene.
yeah.
I just realized I made a mistake. I completely forgot that we had the B and Arrow open, the second
not
one.
as, like,
And I
out-
said, "Oh, we have Chili and Chris," and Chili and
Yeah,
Chris.
I was like,
I
what are you
was talking
talking
about the next
about?
one.
It's not as
sorry.
like out of nowhere as the Kirim appeared to be in era. That was still
Also,
weird.
Charizard for no reason.
No,
Yeah.
Charizard was in the show. We cannot deny that. The only issue
No,
was there was
but
never
like,
a Charizard versus
There was
Reshiram.
there was a reason,
Yeah,
but they stretched it.
that's what TSS is.
Intro.
the issue.
Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na.
Yeah, I would.
That's cool.
If I was to rate the song itself, I would definitely put it in high, or not high A, I'm sorry, low A.
Low to
But-
mid, yeah.
But my issue goes with the animation and how
Oh
it
yeah,
lied.
where Oshawott is fucking using Aqua Jet across this fucking landscape and fighting Minshao, and Pikachu's coming in and fighting Team Plasma fucking Pokemon.
Okay, here's a couple of things I want to talk about that.
And just walking in the fucking abyss and shit. It's dope.
Here's my thing though. You're talking about that Oshawott scene? That's a scene that was ripped out from the Palpitoad episode.
Yeah, I know.
And then the Axu is just a standard animation that they used from just any typical moment when Axu is using that particular dragon move. And then there's that Dragonite scene, which I don't really know where that one came from. So, you know, these are things that are really holding it back. And then, of course, at the very end, when they had Charizard versus Reshiram, which was a lie, it deceived us. It made us think we were actually going to be excited for Best Wishes for once, only for it to just throw it down and just completely ruin everything that was built for. So that's what held it back for
And
me.
then
I
the
would put it-
Zekrom they introduced at the beginning of the series could have been relevant because it could have fought Reshiram too.
Yeah, like I would have loved if Ash was able to command Zekrom for like a little bit, similar to tie into the whole scene with the first episode. But no, instead Reshiram and Zekrom, well specifically Zekrom, is only used again, guess when? In a daydream or some sort. That's
yeah,
it.
it's also kind of weird if you watch the White Hero too, because Ash rode Reshiram in the Dual movie, so it's kind of weird that like he shows up here again and he has no fucking clue.
Yeah, but now let us talk about the one thing that's holding this song back for me. There is no full version of this song. That is what hurts it for me. This is such an amazing track that I feel that this one surpasses the original, similar to how High Touch surpasses the original version, or how Psycho Everyday, the band version, vastly surpasses the original. This one could be that one. It could have gone to high A or even into the lowest S possible for me, had there been a full track of this. Unfortunately, there is none, and therefore,
I have to listen to it again to see if they actually reused Rika's take from the first version of the song. So
I feel like they did, in my opinion.
Yes, they probably did because I didn't really hear anything. I heard that the only flaw I really have with that song, realistically, is that the vocal timing is slightly off. But that's because probably just it was reused from the first one, so probably a slight tempo difference.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part of this opening that wasn't a lie was it's just the still shot of Team Rocket and Looker together. I always think this is the cool part because I love that whole them working together type of thing. Like especially since it carried over from Diamond and Pearl, like they remembered who Looker was.
Yeah, there was continuity in this one, which was great.
Yeah.
Dill Pickle with the mops in the closet again.
But like another thing I also liked about the opening too has to be the Colress scene when you see him with all the Pokemon all being under his control. Pikachu coming in with the Iron Tail getting blasted away by Beartick, only for Boulder to come in and have an action scene. Freaking Boulder of all Pokemon, that shit was hype. I love that scene.
Yeah, Boulder had a really good
Yeah,
scene.
the Rock had such exciting moments in an opening. How does a Rock get so hype for you? I don't know, but it did. And I love that. I love that Boulder, even if it didn't really do much in the series itself, still had a moment of shine. I still wish it evolved into a Gigalith, though, in my opinion. But we had to get with what we had. So
Ash would have had to trade with somebody.
yeah.
Yeah.
With that said, though, where would you guys place this now after discussing all this? How would you guys feel with
Low A.
I'd put it in A.
Low A.
Yeah, low A.
A below Best Wishes for me, but but people think it's better than Best Wishes or whatever.
Yeah, just put it 1 point above Best Wishes.
Well, let's take a look then, why don't we? At the
let's take a look at the chat.
What's up, King Monty?
All right, so we have here 0 votes for S tier, 2 votes for E tier, 5 votes for B tier, and 10 votes for A tier.
Okay.
So I think possibly what you've talked about before with it being lower than Best Wishes, I feel is justifiable. Only because there are certain elements in this track, such as the lack of a full version and animation, that don't necessarily really work with it being the thing that holds it back, in my opinion. So, what do you guys in the chat think? Do you think it's all great there? And let's hear what you have to say on that, chat. Do you think it might be higher or lower? Personally, I still find it, like, I think this is the best position for it. I really got not much more to say for that one.
If they had a full version and if Ree could use a different take of vocals rather than just reusing the same vocals, I'd rank it higher.
Yeah, that's the thing. If she actually redid the lyrics from the ground up again to fit with the...
redid the vocal delivery, really. I mean, that's what it is. It redid the vocal delivery.
Indeed. So that would have been my reason as to why I would have shot it up to even an S tier, honestly. Had it been done to fit perfectly with that, I think it would have been great.
Yeah.
Sadly, that doesn't exist. So, with that said, though, ladies and gentlemen, let us now go and move on into the next one. This one, to me personally, I have to tell you guys, is my favorite Best Wishes opening overall. Summerly Slope by Dice.
Low B.
It's also my favorite.
I like Summery Slopes, and weirdly enough, that's the only thing that kept me watching the Decorla Island arc.
That might be it for me too, because that opening to me is such an amazing.
Too much auto tune.
No, but that's been his style, though, I believe.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, but again, it's just from my personal take. It actually ranks as the worst
of the Best
BW
Wishes
opening
series.
for me.
All right,
Yeah,
but where's the ranking like overall? Like, what number placement would you have put this?
Oh, I have it. I have a high. I had it's in my top 10, I think.
This one's in my top 5.
This one is in. Let me see here. This one is 22.
Damn, so pretty much almost at the very end, just like 7 away.
Yeah, but it's still in B tier because at least I could listen to that. At least it's listenable to me. So it's like, at least I can listen to it. It's just that again, the auto-tune effects are not my cup of tea.
Yeah. I see a lot of people. I see a lot of people during the time that this aired. I don't know if you guys ever watch those channels on YouTube that do ranking on openings from each season and even going to like a yearly review of opening songs. Summerly Slope ended up being the only one from Best Wishes that ever made it to a rank in a lot of people's rankings online on YouTube. To even being on second place for some of people's favorite openings from that year. This is all, for a lot of people, one of their favorite openings from Best Wishes. And to me, it's also up there as well. I really love the story. I love the song. I love the lyrics. The instruments are phenomenal. It fits perfectly with the setting that we are in, going from island to island, going to new adventures every single time. Now, of course, unfortunately, the only thing that's really holding it back is the fact that this song is used for nothing but filler. Just filler this.
Why did this arc actually have like the best opening and Best Wishes? I just want to know.
Let's hold hands. What is it called?
Yeah,
let's join.
Good ending.
Yeah, like if we ever get to endings, let's hold hands. Better be an S tier. We're gonna riot.
Yeah.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll see about that though. And I think this opening also released around the right time too, though, because this was around summertime.
Yeah.
And it's such a summer song. I mean, it's literally called Summerly Slope, so.
For me, I think it's above Best Wishes, but below Mazase Pokemon Master.
I would agree wholeheartedly in that. For me personally, I would have put this in an S tier, but I also have to think about the animation that also accompanies it too. While there's nothing wrong with the animation,
one of the
it's a very fillerish opening.
Claire gets replaced with Alexa Noivern, I think, in this one.
And Go-Go.
Oh shit, yeah, and Go-Go.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice way of trying to tie in with the
It's a great opening to end this series. Unfortunately, the problem is the only reason that is because it's like, okay, if I'm gonna get crap, at least I'm gonna get introduced to some good music, then watch crap. Oh, Alexa is Juniper. What? That's weird. Okay.
That's it.
I thought it was Claire.
No, Claire still stayed, I think.
Oh, whatever. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
and also Oak was here too for Rodam, if I recall correctly.
mm.
And that was it from what I remembered.
There were some weird reappearances in that arc.
Oh, anybody remembers that really horrendous Goodbye Oshawott episode?
No, fuck no.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
I also the second Chili and Crest one when they came back and like that lady was going to
the
take
ice
over the
queen.
gym.
The ice
I was
queen
like,
lady.
seriously?
The ice
We
dominatrix
get that?
lady.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was
And then
terrible.
Silent was like, first of all, Chili, you need to teach your Panseer more than just fire moves. And he's like, I do.
Yeah.
Like,
Not to mention,
serious.
they had all the time in the world to tell us why Silent is afraid of Purloin, but they didn't do that still.
Yeah.
This
and
was
then,
the right time
and
to
there's
touch
the-
that subject, man.
then there's the bullshit you baited Butterfree episode.
Get baited,
Oh,
boy.
yeah.
Yeah, I think they were literally just trying to grab on nostalgia for that one. Because I thought Ash was going to catch a new Caterpie and it was going to be Butterfree. And they didn't do it. So, whatever.
well, I remember
Or-
like when that
or I
leaked
thought he was gonna
through
get
the
Butterfree back.
magazines, and they just showed like a couple of screenshots, and it fully looked like it was just Butterfree coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it had
Yeah.
the scarf too, didn't it?
Yeah,
I don't know if
they
it had
showed-
the scarf, but it was like low quality enough to where people were like,
I think it was a scarf, but I think it was a flashback to the original scene. That's what
Yeah,
I
we
was
didn't
reading.
know it was a flashback though, thanks to the trailers. And the trailers, they presented it like it was just a regular, like a regular part of the the episode. But then we found out it was a flashback. We're just like, so he's not getting Butterfree back. Fucking
Also, a weird fun fact about that episode: it might just be an error, or also like could be a throwback thing. But for a lot of that episode, Ash has like the old style black eyes instead of his Best Wishes series eyes.
oh, the brown one.
The whole episode looks weird in general, so it could fully well just be an animation error. But I wonder if that was almost like a little like throwback to.
If it was, I need to rewatch that episode again because I never saw that detail.
Yeah, it's weird because like he kind of switches back and forth a lot.
All right, so let's ask the people what they.
Yeah.
they feel.
Oh, one last thing to note as well from DA, just a little nod that I really liked a lot because it's one of my favorite songs in general. The Jirachi song that they played in the Jirachi focused episode.
Yeah.
I loved that they kept the medley there.
And you know what they replaced that song with in the dub?
I don't need to hear it.
The Cura movie ending for no reason.
What?
They had it. They had an English version of that same song.
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, well, Chisaki Mono, it's because licensing. Hello.
Yeah, but they had the English one of Make a Wish. Why couldn't we do that? Okay,
Oh,
whatever.
this is number 6 for me, apparently.
Yeah, I put this in my top 5. So I agree with it being in mid A, at least surpassing Best Wishes for me. Maybe not surpassing Mrs. and Pokemon Master, but definitely Best Wishes. Now, let's take a look at what the community has to say for this one then.
Yeah.
We got 1 vote for E. We got 5 votes for B. 6 votes for S. And 6 votes for A. So there is a very mixed bag with this one. Had the E not been voted and went to B, it would have been a 3-way tie with all 3 rankings. So I think, in my opinion, the placement that it is in right now, in mid A, probably is the best position it could possibly be in.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised with this one. It actually went pretty well with Best Wishes side. I'm glad that a lot of us actually agreed with the placement for this one. So I'm very happy about that. Now,
Okay.
this is where the story begins to start taking a
Now
twist.
we're moving to my territory.
Yeah.
And
Now-
this is where I
and
come
now-
in.
and
Yeah,
now- and now-
Evie.
here we go. Here we go. Here is a disclaimer. If you love these next 2 songs, great for you. I don't. But do I want to hate you for liking these songs? No. So there we go.
All
With
right,
that,
but
I say
Tyrone,
yes.
I have to
With that
hear what
said,
you have
we've
to
got
say.
Dragon Ghost, Fire, Poison, Bug, Water, Rock, Electric, Ice and Dark, and Normal.
Yes.
Fire,
Now,
Fire,
Tyrone, you're not
Goes
saying it
straight
right.
into the E tier for me.
What?
No.
I was making a joke about that last week with the tier ranking. I didn't think it was actually going to go to E
Straight
tier.
to E tier.
It's a normal too.
I don't think it's that bad.
Too much auto tune, and one of the staff members of PM, who's also a drummer, says that the drum mix sounds like complete shit. He could play better drums than that.
I'm surprised you put that in E tier only because Megavolt exists. You know.
Well,
Yeah, I think it's
they
better
both
than
belong there. But we're gonna get to the next one, and I'll explain my thing there too.
All
But
right.
if you like this song, good for you. It's not my cup of tea. It belongs in E for me.
Well, fuck you. No.
I like both.
All right, Evie.
I like
I know
both.
you
I
haven't
don't
had a
like
chance.
Megavolt.
Evie, you never had a chance to really talk about the Best Wishes ones because I assume you never really connected with Best Wishes.
No, this was the year where the Fluke Meister was born.
Ah, okay, yeah,
Okay.
because of Serena. Now,
Yeah, and the sad part is, this is the more tolerable one, but it's still a shit song.
I would blame TSS if he puts in the E tier. Now, mind you, like audio wise, it's
We
not
love
that
you.
great.
We love you, Terrell.
Yeah, like, anyways, audio wise, it's not that great. That's one of the few songs where I would literally skip if it comes up into my shuffle playlist. But I mean, you know.
wait, you actually would skip this song if it was in your shuffle playlist?
I'm sorry, like it's good, but only because, like, you know, it's the beginning of the X and Y. Well, it's one of my favorite series of all time. Well, seasons, excuse
I
me,
have
of
a
all
question,
time. But
Evie. I have a question. Would
Sure.
you skip the full version?
was there a full version to
Yes,
this?
What's
Yeah.
the full version of this song?
And it's dope.
I never listened to it, then, so I can't really answer
really
that.
like the instrumental part.
Yeah, the instrumental part is what saves it for me.
That slow, there's the slow part, like towards the end, dun, 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 and like
But that's some of the worst. That's some of the worst mixing. They don't know how to
See,
mix a song.
Personally, I will put it at the lowest of B, but I wouldn't. But I kind of understand where TSS is coming from with this.
Yeah, this song does a good job in representing, I would think, X and Y. It does, and as somebody pointed out, this song is used in the last episode of the series as well, which does a great job in showing off all the various scenes together from the XY and XYZ series and just wrapping everything up nicely to give you a good show from beginning to end. Now, with that being said, though, I'm very glad about one thing in particular with this opening. This opening was replaced pretty quickly as well. It didn't overstay its welcome. It didn't have the same issue that it had with Best Wishes in particular.
But it was replaced by a worse song.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. That's why, in my opinion...
Y'all skipping me on purpose, and I don't appreciate it.
Hold on, let me just mute you real quick.
Well, geez, Sarah, you know how I feel then.
Now...
I think it deserves to be an E.
I'm only doing this, Tyrone.
Others.
I'm only doing this because I know you have your whole story to go through with this song, and I really want you to say everything you have to say, but I also want to make sure everybody else that don't necessarily agree with your statement take theirs out first to then go into yours to see how it all clashes. Oh, Jesus Christ, Tyrone. I know you're frustrated, but Jesus Christ.
No, that was me. I actually made the table.
Not me.
I thought that was Tyrone. Jesus Christ. I apologize. But if I was to place this, I would probably put this either as the lowest of Ace or at least above High Touch, in my opinion. But I'm curious to see what the chat has to say. And of course, Tyrone, I'll leave this on to you now. I'm really interested to see what you think about this opening overall.
The weird part, I was going to put this one in mid-A, only because there's one thing that holds it back. The one thing that holds me back from going higher, they used it every time a Pokemon fucking evolved. They used it every time a Pokemon did anything.
Yeah. Oh, no, my leg got hurt. Needing water.
Dead. But it's the only song that I took the time to memorize both in English and in Japanese. Like
There was an English version?
They made an English version, and I forced myself to learn it.
Okay.
I was singing it while you guys were talking.
I know.
If I keep holding the
See, it's catchy.
I'm gonna agree with KG. Actually, I'd put it bottom A.
Yeah, I don't think it's terrible. It does not deserve to be with Whiteberry and Symphonic Medley.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no, it doesn't
the
deserve
people,
that.
well, the people that think it's higher than E, they're tone deaf. But that's
No, no. I'm putting it in mid.
Yeah, well,
Really don't agree that just because-
they have never stepped into it. They have never stepped into an audio studio and actually recorded vocals before.
Do you
See,
think
I
would have the
just
budget
don't
for
agree
it?
that just because a song might be auto-tuned means it's automatically horrible. I mean, that's
But
just
it's
my
not.
personal
But it's not. The problem is the drums are shit and the overall instrumentation is it's mixed very badly.
I like it. I lost my shit when the episode where Noibat is racing against Starly and it couldn't handle the updraft. And then Ash taught it what to do because it saw Halucha earlier, so it came back and
My opinion.
and they're both closing in, and it's like, oh, let's go!
Oh yeah, but see, my issue with it though, Tyrone, as you mentioned it before, good God, when they want to use this song, they use it way too frequently.
Yeah, they use it too frequently. That is one downside.
That's the only reason I say
it is like the insert song for XY.
Yeah, that's the only reason I say mid.
At least until Ash Greninja appears, then XYZ becomes the insert song.
Yeah, but we'll get to that.
I'm not making any enemies. They have their own opinion, and it's good.
All right, so if I was to shoot it up to the lowest of A's, would you be okay with that?
I'd be fine with it.
Personally, I'll be okay.
My opinion is irrelevant, so whatever you guys do.
Yeah, I would put it a little higher than where it is now, but I'm sure it's me against the world at that point. So
no. See, for you, Tyrone, it's the show, not the openings. The openings can be their own thing. It's the show is what we debate with you about.
Yeah, Tyrone's biased. You need to mark him as
I already know the next one I have much higher opinions about than everybody else. So
okay, because
are you sure about that?
Yeah,
well, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at the community tab. Why don't we?
Remix version. We got Dragon Gut, Flying, Poison Bub.
Yeah, then we're gonna get into my reasons why that's even lower on the list.
Megavolt sounds like Voltcon of virus.
No. I have a better analogy for that. Let's go to the community first.
All right, we got 1 vote for E. We got 3 votes for S. We got 5 votes for B, and 11 votes for A.
That's fine. I can deal with it.
So would you be okay with this position then of Vault where it is right now?
I would put it a little bit higher than, what is that?
High Touch 2009.
Yeah, I would put it higher than High Touch, but that's fine. I can deal with it right there. It's in A. I got what I wanted.
Okay. I'm curious to see where everybody has to go with the next version.
I know because the community freaking hates Megavolt. It won't be high, but I like it.
So Megavolt is what happens when you take Volt, put it into virtual DJ, you play around with the loop function while the music file is playing back on a hard drive with bad sectors.
This is what I like.
And even shittier, and the only positive for it, but it still doesn't get higher in my list, is that they have less vocal effects on the main vocal, but everything else sounds like shit.
Yeah, I like the part where when they say "Key on me on I do."
No. It's key. It's like key hana gasaku. That.
Boom.
Yeah, when they say that,
I
like
the boom effect of the back.
I like this version when they say that and then they overlap it with the "We Got Dragon Goes Fine Poison Bug."
I was about to say I like the last 10 seconds.
Yes,
of the song
I agree with you completely. The last 10
80.
seconds. And also, I like that they replaced the segment with Ash's stuff to Serena's stuff at the very end as well for her variation.
Yeah, because Serena has a version, and I like that one too.
Yeah, where they had
the character's becoming relevant now.
I know this is her relevant phase, basically, but that's a topic for another day.
And that's why my musical opinion matters. Even.
And then they show, I like when they show Karina's father side to side with Lucario. That last part of that, that's really cool.
Not a fan of remixes, except for the case of NPM because that's the original, But I don't know. There's nothing really too special about it for me personally, but that's just my opinion.
I like Megavolt. One thing I also do like about Megavolt is that it came out of pure fucking nowhere. Like we were just chilling one day and suddenly they changed the opening on us.
Yeah, it is true. It was in a double episode.
I thought it was having a stroke.
Now, a thing you know what I liked it for though, Tyrone? As weird as it sounds, I liked it only because it wasn't going to be suffering the best wishes phase of it having to be Volt, the regular version, for 50-something episodes.
Also, it did a really good job of introducing to us, hey, you've been introduced to the world of X and Y. Here's what happens when they discover Mega Evolution. Because Mega Evolution was a theme through that entire section.
And just like the instrumentations of Megavolt, you clearly could see how Mega Evolution is truly handled. In general, it's trash.
Yeah.
In the games, anyway. In the games, it's trash. I'm just saying.
But yeah, I know everybody else is gonna place it lower. If I had to compromise, I would say just put it in B. Just put it in mid B.
This is proof that Mega Lucario ruins everything.
Yeah.
No, because it was thanks to that Mega Lucario, Pikachu finally broke the curse of losing to Lucarios almost every single goddamn episode. It appears in.
I literally don't know how he can lose to like every vanilla Lucario and then like just beat Mega Lucario. Like,
Yeah, Pikachu beats the best Lucario.
Yeah. Now, it's funny, though, that we talk about Megavolt, but I love that despite this, that Megavolt exists, the anime still uses regular Volt for the songs and inserts.
Because even they knew it was bad.
Exactly.
No.
It has no like real form to work.
That's wrong because in Ash's fight with Olympia, they used the Megavolt version.
Unfortunate.
No, I could have sworn they used the standard one.
No, they don't. They use Megavolts. The only reason I know that is because they actually they did.
Is this a political debate? Do I need to like fact check this right now?
I did actually today.
I remember you tweeted something about it today.
And you could check it on PocketMonsters.net.
But yeah, like I just I know it's gonna get ranked lower than I want it to, so I would say put it in mid B if it were up to me. Like
everybody fact check this bastard.
Oh, you better believe I'm fact checking them.
Okay.
I definitely rank it lower.
Yeah,
Damn.
I would put it lower.
See,
too.
Yajibe is a man of culture.
Let me see. Opening animation 2.
The constant throw up faces. I love it.
Okay, it is Megavolt.
Are we having an argument with me on X and Y?
Yes, you've been wrong before.
Like, yeah, all right.
We need to be. We also, the community asked to fact check you. They did say that.
I love a series, damn it. I love a series.
Check yourself.
Down.
Oh my God, Tyrone! I don't think you're gonna like this.
What?
The community poll.
Fine.
All right.
Let's roll it.
TSS didn't get what he wanted earlier.
No,
so
TSS got what he asked for with this one.
Yeah.
All right, 1 vote for S, 3 votes for A,
Sorry.
7
I
votes
didn't
for
wanna
B,
yell.
and 10 votes for E. The community are also siding with TSS on this one.
They have spoken.
It is E between the two.
It's fine. We've all gotten something that we don't want.
Summary Slopes is A rank, so I'll live.
I at least V
You
Volt
see,
is up there.
People, people can understand. Oh shit!
No, we're gonna put it at the highest of E. It's not gonna be
you know what? I'll give you this one, Tyrone. I would not mind putting it highest of E.
Yeah,
Only because the animation saved it too.
Y'all didn't even give it a lower B. Jesus Christ!
No. The community also sided with it being more of E, with more votes on the E side than there was for the others. So I mean, listen, with TSS's statement and clearly the community also siding with him on this one for the majority of it. Yeah, and even
Congrats.
everybody here in the call.
Thank you for actually not being tone deaf. Thank you.
It doesn't matter because Volt is still in A rank.
That's why we're saying.
Hey, I finally have a
one.
fucking victory for once.
So in a way, Megavolt like ends up spiritually in a higher rank anyway because Volt's the higher song and it's from that song.
Yes.
You got so many
All right.
victories last week.
Whatever Tyrone wants to tell
Exactly.
us.
Whatever Tyrone's smoking, just let him.
I think we should just move on.
Think about it like this, Tyrone. Volt
And now it's time for a better song.
Susume.
Yeah, we'll get to this.
Get a bun. Get a bun.
Get the bun.
Let's
Something
see.
about Struffle.
Get the bun on my list is mid to low B.
That's about right for me. Yeah.
But
Around
below. Well, for me, it's below rival, but in this one, it's a different.
Put it above Summary Slopes.
I also would shoot this up to either high A or low S for me.
Yeah, high A.
But if I had to go, I would probably put the not low A. I'm sorry, high A. Like above. I would also agree with you, Tyrone. I would also put this slightly above Summerly Slope, but not above Mezeze though.
I would put it high B. I like the song. I just don't think it encapsulates like the same high energy that a lot of other openings have. So
But I also believe this song was used in the right time, though. This was during.
I definitely like the visuals, especially the end part where like Sawyer is.
Everybody voted E because it's true.
But
also, the full version was pretty good itself.
Oh, dude, the full version of this song is phenomenal. I agree with you.
Yeah, Get the Bon Bon is a good song. Get the Bon Bon is a better song than the last two songs.
And also, this is where
I just want to pop in for a second, just to state claim. This is my favorite, and this is my favorite Japanese opening.
In general, just in.
I mean, it's a really good song.
It's the only opening that I actively listen to ever since I heard it the first time. It went on my phone like immediately. It's just one of those tracks.
I hear you.
And then you can hear Tomohisa Sako butcher it on the 20th anniversary TCG one where he can't even hit the A4s.
But I love how you bring him up because this is also the introduction to this artist making
for your previous statements. I want you to know that.
well, good for you. Well, good for you. Start punching the punching bag because you ain't punching me.
Oh no! When you gonna catch his hands when I see you in New York?
Well, then my brother's gonna throw you into the back of the cop car.
Oh,
I regret nothing in my actions in the future.
But thanks for hopping in, Terrell. Appreciate it.
It symbolizes Ash and Clement's battle.
It not only does that, but it also does a good job with trying to convey Serena's story too.
Got that Diode shipping going on.
Yeah, everything with Ash versus Clement and also the Sawyer scene is very, very good.
I love that scene. It felt like it was.
Yeah, ironically enough, Get the Bon Bon is ranked higher than Summer Soap as well. So for me,
Oh, okay, so I think a lot of people in the call anyway would agree. At least mid B.
I wouldn't mind.
Or not mid B. I'm sorry, mid A would be fine then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a better song.
Yeah,
I put it in high A, but
I would put it in S, but
it's a little.
Well, that's your thing.
No, I'm just saying it's personal. That's
now
that's it.
You know, I would say if it was to be an S tier, that would be an issue only because then we would have to bump one down. People would have to agree with that. But
it's not passing okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Nah, but don't worry, we'll get to that. We'll get to that soon.
Damn.
A lot of things do a fantastic job with this opening for me personally. Aside from such an amazing song, the visuals that accompany it are so great too. I love the intro scene of that song where you have everybody waking up from their camping sleeps and whatnot, you know, getting themselves set for the day, running together to who knows where while screaming hallelujah and just having just this beautiful visuals of them on top of Pokeballs updated to also fit with whatever was happening with Serena's previous design and then her new look that carries over into the second variant. And of course having my boys Gumi to Gudra, which then replaced by Noibat, Alon's introduction into the anime show, which was also great too, because this was during the time when a lot of people thought that Alon would never be in the main TV series and would only stay stuck in the specials. But thanks to this opening, it clearly was saying that they will eventually cross paths eventually in the show.
Blessing and a curse.
I love when it shows Ramos and all the other gym leaders, and then it goes up to that pillar with Clement, and it shows the lightning bolt, and it's fucking cool.
Yeah, I gotta say, visual-wise, I think the first version of Get a Bon Bon is better than the second one.
Yes.
The only thing I wouldn't say second, I think it's the third version. The only thing the third version does better for me is just the scene when Ash is just in the back. Just like he has his back on the wall, and you see these like glass reflections of all the gym leaders that he's going to be approaching soon before leading to Alon.
Forward and Alon's on the other side.
That looked like the most badass pose Ash has ever given in any opening, man. I love that. He looks amazing.
That part was cool, but like we also lost like the Clement lightning.
Oh no, I'm not saying we didn't lose it.
We had to sacrifice Clement for that.
No, it was like ah man, these are both good, but like if I had to choose one, it would probably be the first one.
Also, Clement was gone for some episodes, so when you see him as a silhouette and then a lightning shows up, it was fucking dope.
You got
you right. I forgot that Clement left for a while. That was kind of funny.
Because it was so short, it didn't last that long.
Yeah.
See, the only reason why I prefer the first version over the second version.
Thank you for the sub.
Hey.
But continue on.
Give us some cool visuals. Yeah, exactly. But the only reason why I prefer the first version of Get a Bon Bon over the other versions is simply because I just don't I personally prefer the Gumi evolution in the opening compared to how they just blindly replaced Noibat. Like they just slapstick him in
putting
there.
Noibat in there, I was like, man, I was already sad that Gudra left, and now you're just kind of rubbing salt in the wound.
Yeah, you
I mean,
have
it's like yeah.
Truman, thank you for hosting.
No disrespect to Noibat, of course, but I just thought that like
Total disrespect
visual wise,
to Noibat.
it's not that great. Yeah.
They shoot the opening before Noibat's debut.
Yeah, it's a spoiler actually.
It actually was a spoiler.
It was a spoiler,
yeah. Mark it down. Mark it down.
All right, we're gonna
Not
shoot
paying
it down to E
attention
tier.
to
Then
different
there you go.
versions.
I got you.
All right,
buddy.
enough. I just appreciated the song as a song.
If we are marking all of them like based on spoilers,
No.
they're all going into E tier.
Now we're gonna make a special one for Best Wishes Season 2 episode, and that's for sure.
Oh god.
All of
just
them
gonna
except
go
for
into-
like 1, 2, 3. I don't think 1, 2, 3 is like any spoilers at all. Like they won't even put Raboot in it.
No.
I won't. The spoiler is that Koharu may join them.
Maybe.
May
Okay.
that's
Oh.
a
They're like
big May.
All right.
but
We
like,
haven't decided yet.
So let's see what the community
Yeah,
thinks.
community says.
All right then. So we have, for some odd reason, 2 votes for E, 2 votes
Damn.
for B, 11 votes for A, and 9 votes for S.
Okay,
So-
All right.
Hey, tier.
All right,
So
we're
right
fine.
there. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, so we'll
All
just leave
right,
it
so
as it
that's
is.
We're good.
okay.
fine.
Perfect.
I just
then.
need to make sure it was in the
Yeah,
right spot.
That's
Now I'm
fine.
gonna retreat back into the chat.
Okay, but before you do though,
But
what do you have to say about the next one though?
Yes.
Fight a motherfucker. I can feel it. I can.
wait. Oh, you mean the XYZ opening?
Yes, that's the next one.
Yes.
Yes.
This goes in high A.
Mine's my favorite,
This-
but I would say
That's
this
a
High
high
A.
way for me.
is probably like this is
High
like,
A behind okay.
Oh, I would argue this to be top the first
High A.
one.
Just to be
behind
fair,
okay.
I think XY in general has the best openings in the series personally. So I would
Mhm.
say X, Y, and Z is probably either low S or like high A.
I agree with
Yeah.
Terrell. I agree with Terrell.
Polly, you moto Suyoku.
Oh god.
God.
I also just think visually this one is also very, very good.
Yeah.
Like
It's very high.
I think this should be the first one. I'm not gonna lie, but then again, I'm that odd man out who doesn't
No, you're
like
not.
No, you're the
No,
odd woman.
battle-
Woman out.
odd woman
Yeah.
out.
The scene with like the hand chasing
Damn it,
Booty
it's the
Chan.
same joke.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. That was
With
good.
quickness.
Alon showing up with Team Flare, so it's like a bad guy. And I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna fight.
Yeah, there's like a lot of cool visual stuff going on there with X,
Yeah, X, Y, and Z on my list is number 7.
Like
Yeah.
the only lame part of the song is where Wolfric shows up, but they replace it. So
Yeah, they replace it with a
So it's
badass
fine
scene
if
with
you
Bonnie,
can
by
be
the way. With Bonnie in the hills by
Plus, it's in a
herself
cool
with the
key. It's
giant
F sharp
Zygarde.
minor.
Oh god.
I took the time to learn this one in English too. Hey,
Also,
This is one of my favorites to play on piano. Speaking of the key, it just pumps me up. It's
It
really
reminds me
good.
of like old school '90s anime. That's like the
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I think I changed my mind and wanted to put this at low S tier only because of the full version kicks ass with that guitar solo.
that is true. Well, actually, no. The movie version is superior. Clearly not. And just lying on that bit. Have you guys remembered the
you're
movie
right.
version?
they just put trumpets.
Yeah,
in. It's
exactly.
Like,
They
"Alright,
just
we
took
called
Cohen
it."
into it.
Yeah. Basically, it's the same vocal take. And made
No, they
sense.
didn't even change the song. They just literally just slapped trumpets on top. They didn't even like
Yeah, they,
rearrange
like I
anything.
said, they just changed the instrument. They just changed one instrument.
Yeah, they just slapped it. I personally would say I would put this among the highest of, not the highest of A's, but I would definitely put it in second place of A.
No, it's S. Damn it,
I
S.
also,
No.
I also like how
Jesus
this
Christ.
song
No.
like correlates.
This is
to
not your list.
Put it in S.
Okay.
This is like
Put
the
it in there, I
Greninja
just
theme.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
No, AA is still a better song.
I'm fine with it being an A, but like I would prefer to be.
See, my problem is AA and Battle Frontier are overrated for me, so that's why I have it as S. So
Mm. Okay,
Honestly,
because
Battle Frontier.
I guess I don't have an opinion.
When
No.
he used it against Chota, the fucking they dodged all the vines.
all right, well, you guys are gonna
and
have
that's when and that was also the opening that we got the fucking most disappointing part of the fucking series. So there we
Oh,
go.
Jesus.
Ding. Done.
Hey, look, we got 21 votes for some ranking here.
Which one
For
is it?
E. All right, I'm putting in E.
No.
Nah, don't worry.
Yeah.
Well, what do
Alright,
you
Chad.
think about it, Kevin?
I love it. I love this opening so much. It is one of the best hype songs that you could think
in his
about.
top 7. That is
It's really hype.
No. I would put this in my top.
It's the high. It's the highest ranked Rika song in the modern era for me.
Nah,
I can't even hear what Tyrone's saying. It just sounds like he's spazzing.
Yeah, he's just hey, Tyrone, are you okay, buddy?
He's having like an aneurysm in the background.
Stroke.
Let Tyrone have his moment. God damn it!
So fucking good.
This is number 2 for me. So that's
he used it when he almost beat Diane.
And then he loses the league.
Yes,
we don't talk
exactly.
That's got nothing to do with the song.
Oh, that
And then
song
there's a
dramatically
red
goes to an
shuriken.
E tier there now,
And
buddy.
then the song's just disappointing. Do they even use the song after that happens?
They use it again when they use it
like once in the flare arc.
No, yeah, they use it again when Bonnie tells Zygarde to use the maximum Z attack on Lysander.
No, that's the remix though. That's the one for the movie version, not the.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, apparently everybody's snakes. Okay, cool.
Ah, shit, we got snacks in this chat.
Snacks.
All right, I'm
Don't
gonna
worry,
dip
though.
back out. But yeah,
Thank you, Terrell, for joining us for a little bit
no
there.
problem. Later days.
Goodbye,
Okay.
Terrell.
Now, I see a lot of people in the community. First of all, I just want to let people know something real quick. I think everybody should already know this by now, but it's kind of already a given. I love trolling people. Why I think I left it in the bottom of E tier, lower than Mississippi Pokemon Master there?
Because people don't understand.
Yeah, I know, and I think they never will. But
Go ahead.
for those, I would highly agree, as well, personally. If I was to put it up here, I too would agree in S tier. I also would do that too. This is where the issue comes in. Because now I have to move Spurt out of S tier to A tier.
Yeah, let's go.
What?
I mentioned
All
earlier
right.
before,
I can agree.
only 3 S songs can stay up there. One has to move out to fit in for this one.
I say
Soul
Battle
for a
Frontier.
soul.
Move Battle Frontier to A.
Go ahead.
No. Battle Frontier. I'll listen to that shit. And besides, it's like Battle Frontier is the most hype song ever.
Yeah, Battle Frontier is a great song, great
No.
insert song.
I know
Yeah,
that's
and
that's my losing one.
and also has the greatest result in any of these fucking openings.
Yeah, see, we all have one that we lost. We're completely like the opposite opinion. That's me with everybody.
Which
That's
one?
my
Spurt,
XY.
well, Spurt is in my A, so I
Which
agree
one
with that.
gets you more hype for a Pokemon battle? XYZ or Battle Frontier?
Battle
Yeah.
Frontiers. Because they
That's
actually
why they-
resulted in wins, buddy. Well,
I
let's
see.
be real here, pal.
Yeah, because because Battle Frontier is not associated with a job or fraud.
Basically, if I want to be happy, I have to sacrifice one of my favorite songs.
Let's put it this way. Look, with Battle Frontier in particular, it does an amazing insert song for the fight between Swellow and Corphish versus Swampert and Arcanine. It was also an amazing song that was used during the fight against Regice, which was the final challenge in the whole Battle Frontier saga as well. It was used beautifully in the time that it was in.
Sacrifice Spurt. Jesus fucking. All right, what did the community say?
Now, of course, that's why I put it in S tier, because it's given the total votes of, from what I'm seeing here, 21 votes for S tier. A tier, it's given 4 votes, and I don't know if this is a troll or not, but I assume it's probably a person who agrees with this. 1 vote for E, and no votes for B. So there you go. A vast
There's
majority.
only been one person voting E for like
Also, by the way,
everything. I think it's a troll.
Yeah.
You just brought up a good point. 21 people voted for S, so I think it needs to be higher than Battle Frontier then, if that's the case.
No.
No, because
Yes.
well, actually,
21 people total.
that is
Yeah, but
true.
but that's on their, that's them.
What?
It's
All
okay,
opinions
Tyrone. I
voted
agree
for
with
this
you.
too.
That's fine. You know.
No. I understand where you're going at here. I can completely understand what you're saying with that one, because a lot of the majority vote is also cited in with that one too. But a vast majority of people as well in the call here also agreed that it was one of the highest, if not the highest opening for it. And I say vast majority because I know some people in this one, I would say, are not agreeing with that one. But
I mean, that's alright.
It's an S.
At least it's an S. Yeah.
Okay,
It's
would
an
you-
S. After that, y'all can do whatever y'all want.
Okay.
It's an S. Just
Tyrone, would you put it
take what
higher
you
than
can
Psycho Every Day though?
What?
Where would you put it with
Yeah,
Psycho
oh,
Every
yeah.
Day?
Yeah.
KG, you cut out for a second.
I agree. It should be. I love Psycho Every Day, but I think,
I would put second too.
I think okay. How about we make an agreement there? How about it be in second place then?
I just
Yeah.
said, yeah, it's fine.
No, because I had it in third place before, but I'm saying let me shoot it up to second place.
Fine. I can deal with it. All right.
Okay,
that's
as
fine.
long as
Well,
it's an S.
yeah, but the thing though is the band version rocks just as much.
Yeah, they're equal. It's basically both in second place. You just don't see it here
You have
because
to count in. Yeah, so it's tied for second.
All right, we'll do that. We're just
We
to
got
make it
Ash
look
second place,
flashier.
we
It'll
have
take the
to
second
second
spot.
place.
But yes, I just want people to see that yes, we do hear your opinions, and we do think that your opinions also was what helped to shoot it up to second place. Personally, from our votes. At the end of the day, this is simply our votes. You guys can decide how you'd like to vote for it in the link that will be provided later in the.
Richie and Nessa, their hot takes.
Let's see. Where was this compromise when high touch?
Yeah, because
Well, to be fair, I was like the only one who was fighting for high touch, buddy. Everybody else was shooting it for lower ranks. So I'm sorry I couldn't help you there. And apparently the community didn't also side in with me on that one too. So that's
Yeah, we all take L's today, Richie. Don't worry. Everybody took an L at some point.
Yeah, I never thought I'd see the day when an X and Y opening would be in freaking E of all things. That still surprises me.
That hurts my soul.
That hurts mine too. Not really, actually. I actually like that.
okay.
But let us now go into the next
What
era.
y'all do with the rest of the list now?
Alola is A above Ready Go.
Really?
Really? I know. Look, I
because
love
on
Alola.
me, because for me, on my tier list, it's below XYZ. But Alola still has something missing.
It has
for
the
me.
It has that summer feel for it.
I agree with that placement. You just put it right there. I really like Alola. I think it's very high energy. I think it perfectly encompasses.
You know what it did to me personally? You know what this song did? It was a nice transition from X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, I mean,
It didn't go from
people
another
didn't
hype
like it
song,
because it was
you know?
different at first, but like that was the point. It's supposed to be different. So I think it like perfectly like kind of couples together with XYZ. It's like the serious song into like the more light-hearted thing right here. So I think it was a good transition. I think the song does a great job of just describing Cinnamon.
Also, this was done by Tomohisa Sako as well, if I recall correctly. This was the last one he did for the series.
Yeah, he wrote the song.
Yes.
He did not perform it. It's just that he wrote the song.
Yeah, so he helped with the making of this song, and I'm very happy with it too. It's such a great song. It does an amazing job at handling what Alola is about. Even now, where we're at with the ending of Sunny Moon, Alola still fits it from beginning to end. It does such a great job with capturing the atmosphere of Alola, getting the good comedy vibes from it as well, with the whole stepping or running by Litten and then it would blast Ash in the face with the fire attack. You know, and then of course having the second version come into play, which will then include Lusamine and then the Aether Foundation, as well as also leading into the eventual Solgaleo arc as well.
Yeah, I think Cosmog was in that opening.
Yeah, so I really do believe it is.
I think this is one of the most fun openings. It's so weird. It's like an apples to oranges situation. I like this one because of how bouncy and fun it is. The XYZ gets me hyped. Like it gets me ready to tear shit up. Where this one, it's nice.
You know what I would say the best way to summarize this one is with X, Y, and Z. I have to be in the right mood to fully enjoy that song. In my opinion, anyway, that's just how I take the approach for certain songs. With Alola, I could just play it and just vibe with it from beginning to end without really needing to get that right mood set for that one.
It makes you feel good.
Exactly. Like I mentioned, with X, Y, and Z, it's just
Also,
more
I love
so.
the little middle part on the full version where it's like Pika Pika.
And besides,
and the
I
saxophone.
I did not get tired of it when listening to the Pokemon Center. Because they played that and Pose all the time when that was first there.
Oh, Pose was a different story, though.
But I'm just saying that every time, you not get tired of hearing Alola in the Pokemon Center.
Oh, hell no. I agree with you wholeheartedly with that one.
Scary blazing hair on no cat.
Thanks to Megami33, I actually know an English version of this song now.
Yeah. All right, then. So let's take does anybody else have anything they'd like to add to Lola? Or should we go and check on what the community has to say?
Let's go because we gotta.
Yeah, I'll give you.
Yeah.
Gotta wrap this up. We got time.
All right, then. So, Sun and Moon opening 1, 12 votes for A, 10 votes for B, 1 vote for E, and 1 vote for S. So, I think the placement that it is in
Yes.
is
Fine.
pretty okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right, then. So, now then, let us now move into the second opening of the series, otherwise known as opening 1.5, because it then gets replaced by opening 1 yet again later.
Another Pokemon Master.
The
Lowest,
20th.
low B, above Together 2008. That's just me.
I'm biased and I vote high A, but it's because
I
I'm
would
biased
put
and
it-
I love
I-
NPM.
This is another Mazit Pokemon Master. Like another one.
Yeah, but
I
this
would
is,
put
I
it
think, her
above,
best rendition of it in the modern era, though.
It is.
Me too.
We'll say
Well,
it's
yeah, because she doesn't. Yeah, because unlike live performances, she doesn't fucking bird out the A4s.
Well, this is
I think
what
it's
we're
better
recording.
than the original, actually. And I don't say that.
I would put it above Alola. I think it's very, very good. This is my favorite version of NPM.
Yeah, I agree. This is my favorite version as well. The only
Like,
issue
there's
that
so much passion in it from Rika.
and it's 20th
Cool.
this is 20th anniversary. You got to remember, this is the song that put her in the scene out there, man. This is what made her be who she is today.
Technically, the best version of NPM is NPM 98 because it's on a higher key and it actually has better.
Yeah,
it actually
if we
sounds
were to include movie versions, I would definitely say that's first place. If I had to go with this one though, like with the TV versions, I would say for me the TV version is better with this one. But
Yeah.
I would still be
I
okay
wouldn't,
if it was mid B, where you'd said it before though.
Yeah, because the biggest thing that I have here is that it's just it loses like the driving rock feel of the song. I mean it's more floaty, and some people might like that, but it's not my cup of tea.
Okay.
Let's see what the fans.
Oh wow, you guys don't have anything else you'd like to add to this one?
Well, yeah, sorry.
No, not really.
No.
I guess it's literally
just
Mrs.
NPM.
Pokemon
It's
Master
just
again.
NPM, so.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I
It's
mean,
like I
it's just another
can
remake.
say it's high, but I don't really have a reason
How
to
many-
back
how-
it up. I just like it.
Well, how many versions of NPM were made? Let's see. We have NPM.
20.
We have NPM 98, NPM 2001, not the Whiteberry one, but the one used in movie 4. NPM 2002 with Koba, with the freaking the whole thing for in movie 5.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have 20th, and then technically the one with movie 22 is a 2019 remix, which is basically just a retracking of the NPM 98 just so that they can release it.
Yeah, it's a remaster.
The amount of
basically.
versions that I have.
Wait, you also forgot to include the Whiteberry version though.
Well, that's why. Well, no, because fuck that.
Oh,
Do
okay.
we
there.
really want to include that one?
Yeah, he really doesn't want that song to exist, man. Unfortunately, it does. So, well, there's the Rika version that's in the movie 5.
Capture of Grub. They teased the capture of Grub and that didn't happen. They're pointing out in the chat.
Even
Yeah,
have the unreleased harmonica version.
That's why it's not an S tier, buddy. They teased the capture, but for the wrong character, though.
Yeah.
All right, so overall, Sun and Moon Opening 2 gets 11 votes for A, 8 votes for B, 1 vote for S, and 1 vote for E. So I would say the placement that it is in is okay.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people would slide more with A, of course, from senior, but I think a lot of people in the call as well would also put it or be fine as well with B tier. What do you guys say?
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
All right, now let us get to what might be my favorite opening.
One, I'm gonna say to me, mid A for me because this one's way better than I thought. And this was a period where I stopped watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely put this in there.
For this one, for me personally, it's mid A above NPM.
It's not. This one isn't my favorite. I'm sorry, Kevin. I know you like it.
No, I
I was
know.
about to say,
Listen,
for
you
once-
have your
for once
opinions
I was
for
gonna
it.
play
I
devil's
disagree,
advocate
but I'm
and say that
curious to
this
know why.
This is my least favorite opening since Best Wishes started. Like, I do not
Really?
like this song very much.
Yeah.
I just don't. I like the instrumentation and I like the visuals, but I don't like the singer at all.
Really? No.
Well, have you heard the full song, by the way?
I have heard the full song, and it still doesn't really do it for me. I put it at bottom
okay.
of B.
Okay, I
Okay.
see what you're saying there.
So-
For
I
that
mean,
one.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, to be
you don't
perfectly honest, to be perfectly honest, when this first came out, it didn't feel like a Pokemon song for me. But once they played it more in the Necrozma arc, and then later on, I really started to appreciate the song.
Yeah, this is
Well,
one
you
that
go- you also-
doesn't get to you at the first time around. It builds up on you.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
as
I
an
think you also
insert
got-
song, it's used well.
You
Like,
also
it's
got
used much better than like any of the
Sorry.
XY insert songs.
All right, well, Evie,
Yeah.
going ahead.
Sorry, I know, John. I know you said that you're not that into this artist in this opening. Well, if I'm correct, she's still a very young artist, so she's still,
Well, there's a
getting
band.
it-
It's a whole band.
Yeah,
oh, it's a whole
real.
band. Yeah,
Real.
yeah. So
I wanted to
they're
see
still
them
a
in
young
Japan.
band. Yeah.
To
So it takes time
me,
eventually.
because and just my experience with this song is actually very unique. Because remember, this was the period I stopped watching Sun and Moon. I was like, I'm done with Sun and Moon. I'm out. And I had to look when KG said, "Hey, we're making a tier list of all the openings." I took the time to listen to all of the Pokemon openings, every last variation, all versions, and then I listened to this, and I'm like, "This actually sounds a lot better than what I thought it was gonna be." Like, really good, only because I guess it still kept the same feel of a Lola, but brought upon some rock with it. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, there are some things about this song that makes me appreciate it a lot from all the Sun and Moon opening songs. Of course, making references to, I Choose You, Kimini Kimita, I believe it's how you say it.
Yes. Kimi ni
I love that part of the lyric there. But the thing that really sells it for me with this opening, the animation is phenomenal in this one.
It is,
I
like,
still
one of the
love
best
that
animated
scene.
openings.
I love that scene when Ash and the others are running to the school together there. You see Mallow wave hi to the screen as they slowly get to the school before then hopping back to go and scream the in the
Yeah.
front of the TV. I love that segment. I love how the Pokemon are used, but the best bit to me personally is that ending sequence when you see Pikachu and Ash give each other a fist bump in that beautiful art style with like the
art
white
variation,
outline.
yeah.
It's beautiful. I love all of them, even Sergi's version of Brock that he made for that one. And then at the very end when they're all looking at the sunset. And first of all, that sun is really close to the goddamn world because he's
Yeah, I'd be concerned.
Yeah, I'd be concerned too. How the hell they not got like their eyes
freezing.
melted?
It's not called Pokemon Sun for a reason.
Right?
Sogaleo decides to have a little fun today with that one. But the thing that also made me appreciate it too, I love the Pokemon that flew at the very end of that one because it's none other than Kabashi and the little Kabashis, basically Rowlett's family there. I love
I was gonna
how
say
the
my favorite
Pokemon
part of the opening is like the first 10 seconds with like just the clouds going over. That looks
in
amazing.
such
and
quick
also,
speed.
Yeah,
and
and
the,
also the
uh,
last 10
the
seconds where it has like the
Simians.
sunset.
The Passimians in the freaking waterfall area.
Yeah,
The
the
picky
forest
peck.
is like because of the dewdrop on the leaf.
Gosh.
It kind of reminds me of like the opening from Ruby and Sapphire's games. I
Yeah.
really like it. I really like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically-
I like when they're all singing. The Pokemon are singing.
That's nice.
They're so
I like everything about it but the singer. That's just my only
Yeah.
complaint.
Me too. Me too. So-
I really grew to appreciate Real as a band only because I've already been accustomed to her songs before this, actually. Because
Mhm.
she
Their
did
songs.
an opening for Gintama, which was Kagero, I believe is how you pronounce it. And it was one of my favorite openings from that time when they had that arc.
They also did a Boruto opening after this, and then
No,
fucking
they didn't do a
rocked
Boruto
Japan.
opening. It was an ending.
Oh, ending, yeah, the Boruto ending that they did was fucking great. even
Oh,
though-
dude, the ending visual-wise looks beautiful. And I'm like, why is this being used in
Yes,
Boruto?
and it's like why is it great music for such a shit series?
Oh, man.
Nah.
No, seriously though, if you haven't heard Boruto's ending song with Real, it's great. Yes, I know they did a cover for X, Y, and Z. That was like them just having fun. It wasn't like meant to be a real, true song
It
to
wasn't
be
a
released.
real opening.
Yeah, it was just meant to be having a little bit of fun. They did a TV-sized rendition of it, which I believe is actually not available to watch, if I'm correct, because they have it like not available to watch outside of Japan, from what I'm told.
Yeah, it's like region lock.
Yeah, which is a bummer, but yeah, that existed.
All right, let's ask the people.
All right, so community agrees with A tier ranking for this one with 11 votes, 5 actually for S, 5 for B, and 2 for E. So
I can understand.
Alright.
I can understand why people vote for S. And it's a really good fucking song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. It's still a fantastic song. I just personally think it might be in the position it's in right now, in my opinion.
I mean, for me, it's number 10. So
All right.
Okay, so it's still
crack
at
your
least
top
in
10.
top 10s. Let us now move on into the final opening of the series.
I
Mito
like this
Kokunan.
but
opening.
of the
Like,
Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon. Oh God, this
Well.
is my favorite Sun and Moon one.
Okay,
I
Well.
like this one too. I like it. I like it a lot.
It's dope.
Unfortunately,
It's dope.
since C doesn't exist, it's lowest of B's for me.
Oh, what? Tia, come on.
Taiko Okazaki cannot sing, and
Because
also it
of
has
the
very bad,
auto-tune.
has
The
very bad
auto-tune,
auto tune. Very bad. It's an auto tuned off note at the pre-chorus before the final chorus, and I don't like that. And also, Taiko Okazaki cannot sing.
I feel
He
like
can only rap. He's a rapper trying to sing. It doesn't work.
I feel like this wraps Ash's entire Alola experience up in one nice foul swoop. I love it.
Oh, no,
I also
The instrumental is fine. It's just the delivery is
only
lackluster.
is that they didn't use this song when he fought Kukui. They used Type Wow, which Type Wow's good, but I think this song did a damn good job.
I tried actually listening to this song during the scene with Kukui, particularly with the scene where you see the giant totem Pokemon. It doesn't it doesn't fit well compared to with Type Wild. Yeah, I tried it. But as an insert song for like playing in the background, like when Ash was coming away with Solgaleo from the alternate dimension, which we'll never get to see and experience
They
whatsoever.
used the song again when Ash is leaving everybody, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying right there when he has to say goodbye to everybody. They use that sequencer.
John, you were gonna say something about the lyrics, right?
Yeah, the lyrics are really good actually. I like how it's like it's kind of like a letter from the kids of Alola to Ash, like kind of telling
No, it was built
how
like
he's
that.
impacted the region, and I think that's great because Sun and Moon is all about like kind of building that Alola community, and I think the song like perfectly reflects that aspect of the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. But you know what is also the thing I would shoot it up to, at least if it's not going to be, I don't want to put it in beer. I would put it at the lowest of A's because I'm rating two things. The song itself and the animation. I would think this animation would be
we're doing
the
our
highest quality
animation.
animation in general for Pokemon.
We're doing it on animation. Ash turns his hat backwards in his opening. I'm just letting y'all know that.
Yeah, that's why I said if this was like, say, if we were only rating it for visuals, I think this would take the number one spot in general.
Well, I mean, the visuals are fine, but the way that I rank them is how frequent am I going to, how willing am I to listen to the song? And the answer to that is not much for me.
Yeah. No,
Because
I
of the
get
auto tune for you.
Auto tune, and also like I said, it's the rapper trying to sing gimmick, and it doesn't work.
I love the visual scene, by the way, when they had all of Ash's Pokemon at the current time, all duking it out with the rivals that they built in the show.
They show them in real form too, like the Rockruff and Litten form and stuff.
Yeah,
Yes.
the film reel is so cool.
My favorite
I
scene
love
is
that
where
scene.
is where he like has
What I should
Pokeball
actually-
Pokeball
I'm sorry.
and he's sad, and then the whole classmate kind of they all come over and just kind of cheer him up about releasing Pokeball.
Yeah.
What I should actually do is I have a live performance of I'm pretty sure it was Your Adventure, from Taiko Okazaki, and he does not know how to sing in a live environment, and I'm going to improve that.
Well, not now. We don't want to get a copyright, but
But I'm saying I'm going to put it as a clip.
Okay.
John,
I personally love the.
John, you probably already know what my favorite part is then of this opening.
Is it Gangster Rowlet at the end?
No. Ash throws the Pokeball and fucking battle starts with all of them.
Yep. That's also a good. That's like a Pokemon classic right there. That's always good to have in an opening.
Yeah, Lycanroc fights the other Lycanroc. Rowlet fights Dartrix. Pikachu fights Zero.
I didn't know it at the time, but it was kind of like League foreshadowing as well.
Yeah.
It's like
That's-
people that you fight.
That's actually my favorite part when Kukui's like
The mask
kneeling on the
yeah,
thing.
where he's overlooking the league and then he sees like him fighting.
Donnie,
Yeah.
favorite part is when the guy is mute.
Yeah. No, but I agree as well, though, because that is the most beautiful foreshadowing, because he's not seen any other competitor in that field. The only person he's caring about in that fight is none other than Ash himself.
Mm-hmm.
And
I will say
is
that.
beautiful.
Sorry, I'll
Team Rocket look kind of cool too.
It's more focusing on like on Kukui's dream of establishing a league than Ash's dream of winning a league, which I thought was kind of refreshing.
Yeah.
Right. I think that updated. I think that update for this opening is probably one of the more memorable ones in my opinion. Like just Kukui overlooking the construction of that Pokemon League Stadium. I thought it was pretty cool.
You know what I also like too? I know this might not be what they're going with, but just to me personally, I feel it is this way. The scene when Ash and Pikachu are looking up at the clouds, and then Kukui at the very highest peak is looking down to the league itself. And I like how there's like that different kind of connection going on there where one is looking ahead while the other one's looking at what is to come.
Yeah.
And when Ash was looking up, like they say like chase after the rainbow wing or
exactly.
something like that.
Which
the younger generation is looking forward to something while the older generation is looking to give.
Exactly. And this is what Kukui wanted to give. He wanted to give this league its all and be one of the most iconic and memorable leagues of all time.
I think that even if the song itself, like even if it's not sung amazingly well, I think that thematically it's very good.
It fits everything with giving the series a proper closure. I couldn't be happier with it.
Visual wise, I totally agree with you guys. But the whole thing is, when this is on a playlist, you don't have the visuals to go with it, and in that case,
no, I agree with you. If we're gonna go in that department, I would not be able to listen to it, especially when we get to that really weird auto tune part, like 3 minutes
the auto tune part. Right after the guitar solo. That's really bad. Like I said, that's. I mean, like I said, this ranking that we're doing is counting all that stuff. My ranking is counting if I hear this on an MP3, if I hear this on my phone, how willing am I to listen to the song?
So I love how somebody tries like, wow, you're making me cry, KG. Listen, I love Sun and Moon. In fact, I would put this as the highest, but I can't because that's AG's spot. It's second place for me personally. But Sun and Moon has such a big connection with me because it hits everything that I personally love from a show. It does world building, it does character development, it uses the characters that it's introduced to the show to its fullest potential and bring in a satisfying conclusion that fans can be happy with and giving closure to characters that I think fans would also be happy with, while also showing off what is to come with the finale at the end, with Kukui and Burnett and whatever is to come from them as well with their future generation kid. I think this series does an amazing job from beginning to end, and I know people will obviously disagree. Some in this call do disagree. For me, I just think this series is a step in the right direction and a great story that I feel people are overlooking because there's something that they did not get from what was given to them from the previous generation, which is, of course, the battle aspect. And when you watch Pokemon, you also want to see the battles too, which unfortunately Sun and Moon lacked until the final year, which I can say easily with that part. But instead, they replaced the battles with more thematic focused episodes. And because of the payoff at the end of the series, that's what helped solidify everything and give all of the episodes that we've gotten for Sun and Moon its proper conclusion and a satisfying end,
And this is why I like our group, is because we can agree to disagree.
Exactly. I know
because we all analyze the series in a different way, and that's what it is. I am not going to sit here. And I'm not going to sit here and bash people personally for what they like. I can say my piece about the series, but that does not represent what I feel about the person.
Yeah, everybody has their own take on it.
I do agree. I do agree with KG though, and I think that's why I like both Alola and Your Adventure as OPs more than the second one. Because I think both of them just encapsulate the overall series better.
Yeah. I agree with that too, John.
Both the high energy aspect of Sun and Moon and also like the emotional aspect of Sun and Moon.
Unfortunately,
I've already made it very clear that I'm a little indifferent to Sun and Moon, but watching this opening, like visually and audio wise, made me like, after all of that, it made me go, you know what? I have an appreciation for Sun and Moon. Not my favorite series, but I have an appreciation for it. And it was
a nice change of pace from the generic formula we've gotten for almost 7 generations.
And to go off of Joey in the chat here, Wasn't a fan of Sun Moon and couldn't get into it. I can understand because a lot of it had to do with the whole comedy and sometimes the very poor pacing at the beginning stages.
Yeah.
That's why we can understand. I
Yeah.
know a lot of people.
Right.
A lot of people will say that the ending of them justifies the whole series. For me, the whole thing has to be justified. For me to appreciate it. There are parts that I do appreciate it, but for me, it was certain aspects that turned me off.
Yeah.
To me,
But
it
at least
felt
I
like the
completed
only
it. At
reason-
least I completed it.
To me, it felt like the only and I congratulate you for that one, TSS. To me, it felt like the only reason that Sun and Moon was so good at this point now was because it was coming to a close. It's almost like they had to hurry up and get good at it.
You know what? I can't argue with that shit.
They did the reverse of what Best Wishes did.
Oh man.
Yeah.
The
Right.
best wishes were like, God, just hurry up, just get out of here.
Yeah, Best Wishes was like they were good at first, and then like they started pattering out.
But like when Sun and Moon came to an end, I was like, oh, I'm getting kind of sad now.
Yeah,
Like, I
it's
got
sad.
really
It's sad
attached.
that the final year was better than the first.
Yeah, like when Ash was on the plane, I was like, damn.
It's like, where the fuck?
Yeah,
did
like
time
even if
go?
you haven't watched the like series in general, Tyrone, at least you could say that ending still was.
Yeah. He was on the plane and everybody's telling him bye. I'm like, damn, I wish the series was good enough for me to give a shit. But
Well, yeah, for you anyway, it might have been for that
I was
approach.
more
Yeah.
emotional, but it was still good. It was still a good ending. Like debatably one of the best endings Pokemon got.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say no matter what anyone has to say regarding the series in general, the ending payoff I think was worth it from
the
everything.
the ending was the best ending of any series
Yeah.
to date.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm never going to disagree about that. I totally agree with that. It's just everything leading up to it just is not my
Right.
thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's
Yes.
all I got to say on that.
Yeah, let's
Yep.
ask the community now.
All right, let's see what they think about
All right.
Kimi no Boken.
One
Let's
vote
go.
for E, 4 votes for S, 6 votes for B, and a grand total of 11 votes for A. So
Okay, that's fine.
I would say I'd still put it in the lowest of A's. I love the theme. I love the message. I love the visuals. But man, the vocal department is where it's really hitting hard.
Yeah,
in terms of-
lacking very badly.
Yeah, so that's the thing for me.
Okay.
But I'd still say an A though, because I think everything else does a better job in like helping it shoot up to be with the ranking that it is in.
All right.
Okay.
All right, everybody,
Now
let
for
us
the
know.
opening
This is the recency
return.
effect comes in.
Let's see. Tsukomi Tome.
Clap, clap.
Evie, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say this is where the recency effect comes in.
Yeah.
This is the song that I keep bothering my family with so much so that my parents are actually humming it at this point.
The song starts off with the Game Boy fucking.
Doo-doo.
Okay, yeah. Look, if there's one thing you gotta give high praise
above,
for,
ready, go.
for this opening, it's
A
the
above, ready,
it's the references galore in this opening. You know, it's not
Actually.
just the Game Boy, but there were actually I believe other sound effects of some Pokemon moves that you hear in the opening.
Mhm.
Yeah, it
Well, in the
was just
full version, I think they have like the start of like the Kanto trainer battle theme in
Yes.
where it goes like.
Didn't they have a lyric from As Is a Pokemon Master in it?
I think so.
I remember
I
somebody
don't know.
pointed this out before that they did.
Well, let's take a look.
I think it was
1,
you,
2, 3,
Polly, that
Kashi.
brought it up for that one.
1, 2, 3, Kashi.
I like this song a lot. It's catchy as fuck.
Oh no, you know what's
Number
so
4.
weird for me personally with this song? This song surprisingly feels nostalgic
Okay, let's
despite
see.
being new. Does anybody else get that vibe with this song?
I got
No,
that
I'm with
vibe,
you on
yeah.
that.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, that
it's
makes sense.
and you know what also feels weird? Like this is like an opening that actually feels like Pokemon. Like it actually feels like an anime. Like it fits.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you guys
Yeah.
get the same feeling.
No, I
think
get what you're
I
saying.
think
Like
we're
it
confused,
could be used as any opening for another show, but yet at the same time, this is fit
Also-
perfectly with the theme.
Also,
of Pokemon.
also the lyrics, recall when they were, when you're kids, right?
Mhm.
So that's the whole, that brings the whole feeling together too.
Let's go.
And even Japanese people, like on, if you go on the official video, it's like they talk really high about the lyrics because lyrically it's an amazing song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that so many people, because I've been a big fan of them prior to them being in the series of Pokemon with their song.
After the rain, yeah.
After the rain, I've been such a big fan of Soraro and Mafu Mafu. They've made songs that I've loved and appreciated over the years. They even had an album released before.
Yeah. So it's like So Walu also did a version of the ending for fucking Yokai Watch Jam.
Yes, exactly. And Mafu Mafu did some for I believe another show. I forgot which one it was in particular, but they've done such amazing songs before. I could list a couple of them if I wanted to, but I think that this song right here is amongst some of the best work that they've done. This is such a love letter to Pokemon in almost every way imaginable, beginning with an amazing sound effect at the very beginning of the song. With that little noise there.
Somebody in the chat, 1, 2, 3 with Ben Eddie Mays.
I know.
It's Ben Titty
Mays.
No, Ben Titty Mays.
Titty Mays.
The one that made the parody, TSS.
Poor lad.
I don't have. It's really hard for me to change around my rankings of the openings because I'm really kind of stuck in my ways. Except for XYZ, that was I thought that was gonna be the only exception. Now 1, 2, 3, I fell in love with it at first listen.
It's on number 9 for me.
So. Yeah, it's number 4.
I would put this in my number 3 for me.
I think it's high to mid A. That's where I'd put it.
Yeah, that's why I put it above okay, but below Advanced Adventure.
On my list, it's actually mid A because there's a lot. People think I shit on a lot of songs. Actually, between C and E tier, I only have 6 songs.
Damn.
Everything else is B and above.
I love how I'm I love 1, 2, 3. Kevin's all right, I'll put it above okay.
No,
Never
I've
mind.
already had it there. No.
No, I'm just joking with you.
I know. Don't
okay
worry.
is number 1.
Yeah, for me personally, 1, 2, 3. I feel more connected with this song. It's like with OK, similar to X, Y, and Z. I just have to be in the right mindset to fully enjoy that song. With 1, 2, 3, just like Alola, it's just a song you could just click with immediately and enjoy it from beginning to end. Amazing.
Oh, I could listen
vocals.
to that shit for. I could listen to that shit for a good time.
Yeah, amazing vocals, amazing instruments, amazing delivery on the lines. I love the theme of the song. I love the lyrics of the song.
The harmonies are fucking fantastic.
Exactly. And when you have 2 different vocal artists here, Soraro and Mafu Mafu, who are well known to blend their voices beautifully with each other, this song is superb. It does an amazing job.
I'm a stickler for tracked music too. So go ahead.
I think this song does a really good job of kind of also bringing the Pokemon series together, which is also kind of what Pokemon 2019 is trying to do. I know they're not getting too far into it yet, but they are including some past references and whatnot. And I think that's only going to go up as the series goes on. It feels very classic. It feels like an old school Pokemon opening, but at the same time, I like the little dancing segment that they do because that to me feels like it's straight out of Sun and Moon. So it feels like there's continuity between this series and the last series.
Hey, Ash doing that stanky leg though.
Well, let's face it, that dancing scene is gonna go. That's one of the most iconic moments in a Pokemon opening.
Plus he's doing the stanky leg, man.
Plus, she does the freaking Crayon Shinchan dad freaking dance.
He's doing the crazy knees.
Yes.
He got Meanwhile, what's happening to Go? What is he doing though?
I like
he's like doing the chill dance.
It feels classic, brand new, Sun and Moon. It's like so many different things kind of tied together. That's what I like about it.
Right.
Get the Banban and Alola had a child.
This time they didn't have to ingest the freaking cocaine to actually make a good series.
And you're talking about the dancing
I forgot
scene.
to mention.
Go ahead.
Oh, wait, what do you say?
Go.
Okay. In the middle of in the full version, they have towards the end they have the the other game music when you're about to start a battle.
Yeah, the trainer battle.
And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. But as I was saying, I think talking about the dancing thing, I think visual wise, the opening, the visuals for this opening is pretty good.
Yeah.
Everything fit really.
Yeah, I think everything fit
pretty much
perfectly.
everything. Yeah.
I'm curious to see what the chat has to say now. Well, on the bright side, 0 votes for E,
Good.
2 votes for B, 5 votes for S. Thank you to everybody who voted for S, and 15 votes for A.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
would
I'd
say
say
the
then
placement.
about where it is good.
Yes.
Hold on. We got one more vote for S, so we're gonna have to shoot it up as the best opening of all time now. Thanks to that.
All right.
I
Well,
wish. I
I won't argue against that.
Nah, listen.
Not
I
gonna
wish
lie,
I
like
could.
no, I mean really, not gonna lie. Like this is a bit of a hot take. I would actually put this personally in my S tier.
Yeah,
ranking.
I would put this in my S tier too. I just can't do it because that means I have to take
Right.
one down, and if I had to take one down, it would be one that I don't want to take down right now. So
Sacrifices must be made to maintain a more perfect,
As
balanced
long
world,
as-
KG.
as long as people can acknowledge the greatness that is 1-2-3, I am okay with it. And I think
Mhm.
this list right here that we got right now is maybe not
Whew.
the greatest, but I
That's
would
fine.
say is definitely the most balanced of the ones that I initially had in my mind. So, because I thought there were going to be more songs in B tier personally, but I'm glad to see that there's a lot in A, there's a few in B, and then there's only those 3 in E. And that's perfectly fine right there.
Well, it's nice that there's like a good blend of songs from different series like all throughout this list. It shows that there's not like a drastic drop off in quality anywhere. Like when we were doing the dub openings and it was like, oh well, this is TPCI, it's all just
Speaking
going down
of
the
which-
drain, and this is Goldfarb, it's going even lower.
Yeah,
Like,
speaking of which, we need to okay, we're done with the English dub one, but obviously we know the journey starts today opening. Where would you technically put that?
Highest of A.
It's up there, definitely.
I
Low,
This
I
could
would
be
say
an A.
low A. Low A.
B. Well, I say high B.
I think we need a full version. I mean, they are gonna make
Yeah.
one. We know that for sure.
We are.
but,
Yeah.
like, they need to
Yeah.
hear it.
So,
It's a
but
big girl, you know how to find me.
Yeah, so once again, the only thing that's holding it back is it cuts off at the part where it's getting good.
It's also
Yeah.
the only song that doesn't use the word Pokemon, in it,
Pokemon.
which I think
yeah,
is
because it
nice.
was because obviously it was written not for Pokemon.
Yeah. Like it sounds like a song that you could just listen to and not
Yes.
be like ashamed of and be like, "Oh man,
Yes.
this is a kid's song."
I would not mind at all spending money for the full version of this song. That's how
Also,
much I like it.
also, we need full version because we have to have the poutine. This is a Canadian band. We need poutine.
I would love to support this band just so they could know that they did an amazing job for the 30 seconds that they had. The only issue I have with that opening, by the way, I hate it, and this is something common that they've done with a lot of openings now. With the dub side, they keep using footage from the show itself and
I
not
hate
the
that
actual animation from the goddamn opening that was given to them.
I hate that shit.
I hate
'Cause they
that
use-
so much.
They use most of the opening all the way up until like what?
Yeah, they don't even have the dancing part. I mean, you could make it work.
Well, they use part of it. They use no, they don't use.
They
the
don't
dancing
use
part.
it
They
at
don't
all.
use the dancing part, and that's a criminal. That's a criminal offense.
Yeah,
in
right
some
there.
countries.
We have to shoot it down a bit.
Jesus.
Nah, but sincerely though, that's the only thing holding it back from making the opening great for me. When I did the editing for the dub opening, I was trying to figure out where I could put the dance, but I couldn't find anywhere within the lyrics that would fit perfectly for that part.
See, yeah, you want to know what's something funny? Okay, what's the name of the band that
Walking off the
performed?
Earth?
What is it?
Walking off the Earth, what's it called?
Walk off. I think it's Walk Off the Earth.
Yeah, Walk off the
Yeah.
Earth.
You,
Yes.
you noticed the same day that opening came out, the Goldfarb
KG, I
parody
found a
account.
version that uses the dance.
Yeah, nice.
The Goldfarb
Uh,
parody account came back and said, "I'm never walking off the earth."
I know, I love that. You know what?
Now-
That justifies Goldfarb's inclusion in the series now. There you go.
No, funny enough, I knew about this band even before they did this opening, and the only reason why I knew about them was because when Taco Bell introduced their breakfast menu, they had one of their songs playing in the background, one of the commercials. That's how I got to know them.
What?
Ironically enough,
So they were
I'm
a
not even
Taco
joking.
Bell music.
I confused the
And
Taco
also,
Bell
Evo gets S rank for this opening because he puts Japanese music composer Yuki Hayashi.
so yeah, TLDR, I heard about it from a Taco Bell commercial. There you go.
Taco Bell. Taco.
All right. Well, listen. First of all, Taco Bell I don't like, but the fact that you discovered him via Taco Bell of all fast food chains.
I don't like
It's-
Taco Bell until they bring back the nacho fries box next month, and then we'll talk about it.
No, they have to bring back the fucking motherfucking Cool Ranch taco.
Ooh.
Are we do we have to do a tier ranking for fast food joints?
I'm gonna say,
Next
you don't know
time.
enough about the menu.
Yeah.
I don't even know enough about the menu.
Next time, yeah. Any E tier is any restaurant that makes you have diarrhea.
Oh, Jesus.
Tyrone, I never gave Taco Bell a chance until they built one right next to my dorm freshman year, and then I was like, bro, I only got $4 in my wallet. This is the only place I can eat at.
Right. Yep, John, you are definitely in college. Taking that.
Wendy's is S tier. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, you.
Well, we'll get to the fast food
of
rankings
tiers.
eventually. We'll get to them eventually.
So speaking of tiers, KG, yeah. So we're done with this one. KG will put the description in the chat now. I hope the link to the tier list, so you can make your own, and then you could save your image and you can share it with us on Twitter.
Here you go, ladies and gents. There's the link right there for you. Please create your own opening tier list. Once again, try to follow the rule of keeping only 3 opening songs in the S tier. That is the only rule that I'm giving you guys. You can only put 3. So fight for those 3, or maybe not. Maybe you already only have 3 or 2. I don't know. But if you have more than 3, you have to fight for which one truly deserves to be in the best 3, the top 3 songs / openings of the Pokemon anime series. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, what's next? We did the rankings of the dub series for the openings. We did the opening rankings of the Japanese side here. Where do we go from here now? Well, see, the thing is, I want us to do the ending next week. Of course, it's only justifiable to go into the ending for next week. There's just one big issue with that. There is a shit ton of them. A lot of ending songs.
And I don't listen to a lot of ending things.
This is where
that
things
means we
are
gotta
going
do
to get
3 parts for this because it's going to be a lot.
but
I would do it.
And you gotta sit through Go All Stars.
I can't wait to put that in next year.
Summer was
Pokemon Shitty Tori.
At least we don't have to deal with the dub endings.
What dub endings?
Exactly.
And TSS and I are going to fight over E-Pie Summer, which belongs in E tier. So
no, it belongs in low C.
We'll get to that. Well, there's no C's. Now, okay, so with that being said, though, I know we're going to do it, but I want us to give us a little bit of time to listen to the ending songs first before we get to it eventually. So maybe we get it another week. Yeah, because there is a lot that we need to do for that one. However, I want us to do a little something fun next week, if you guys are okay with it.
Okay.
I want us to rank the Pokemon jukebox songs.
Jenny.
Well, you know what the funny thing is? Nyas no Uta will be in that because it aired.
Indeed. So, the next time we come back, ladies and gents, we will be ranking, just to give us time for us to listen to all the endings of Pokemon the series, the Japanese side. We're going to have a little fun by doing the Pokemon Pikachu jukebox thing that they had in the dub series.
Pokemon Karaokemon.
So basically the Tubia Masters album. Basically.
The Tubia Masters album, and then the ones that they had in Johto 2.
Oh my god!
So Pikachu's jukebox and Pokemon Karaokemon.
So we're going to be doing it for that.
Crossed every river.
Back when Pokemon Dub was actually fun to watch.
So we will definitely be letting you guys know how that's going to work out for next week. We hope to see you guys there. It's going to be a fun one. I'm curious to see where people are going to rank it for that one, but I want to make that happen because I really do love those songs. And just to give us enough time to work on for the ending side of things, and given that we have to extend this time anyway because we don't know when the episodes of Pokemon are going to come back, we will be doing that. So I hope to see you guys there. Once again, I want to thank everybody here, though, in this call who is with me tonight for contributing so much into ranking these songs. We have JPRPT98. We have our pal Polly, otherwise known as Age of Trade, so you can go and follow her on Twitch. We have TSS. We have Tyrone the God 3. And we have Alpha Eevee here. So once again, everybody in this call. And also
the Insane Game Freak.
He was here for a few minutes as well. You are correct. Yes. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. Made the conversation so much more fun having you guys around. And of course, to everybody in the community, thank you guys so much for participating with us as well for when we get to...
and thank you for Megavolt. I really appreciate it.
You actually gave TSS the win in that one. The biggest W in history right there just happened. But yeah, so we hope to see you guys for next week. We hope you guys will also take the opportunity to go and listen to the Jukebox as well, because we're going to be having a lot of fun with that one. And we'll speak with you then. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, my name is KG Prestige. Thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't yet, make sure to follow us here on Twitch, and also make sure to follow us on Twitter, which is in the friends segment down below. Make sure to go and do that. Subscribe if you haven't, and we'll let you guys know when the next one's going to be ready. So until then, everybody, we'll talk with all of you guys later in whatever video we make. Take care, everyone, and as always, have yourself an awesome day.